G'day and welcome to another episode of your mum's favourite podcast, Fireside Yarns. I'm Vinno and here with me is our most loved Irish Australian, Davey G. How are you, brother?
Very, very good. Most loved Irish Australian.
Yeah.
I'll dig it.
Fuck yeah, man. So it's been a couple of weeks since we've done an episode, been flat out busy. Once again, unfortunately, Reese isn't with us tonight. He's still pretty busy doing certain things with work, etc. So just the two of us, but we do have a little added bonus with us tonight. We've managed to get another guest. We're going to bring him straight in before we start talking about the topic and what we're going to be nutting through tonight. So we'll get him in. Our guest for this episode is a guy he's a big supporter of the show since we started. He's been itching to come on the episode.
Number one. Got to be
Mate,
number one supporter.
Has to be. Has to be.
Heaps good feedback. Just I don't
Loves the chat.
I don't want to suck his dick too much. I want to wait till he's here.
He's been itching to come on. He has been. Yeah. He said from the first episode that he heard, he's been wanting to come on. So he's going to fit right in with this week's topic. He's a local musician, plays in a country music band called the Trade-Ins. We'll get and have a bit of a chat to him about that. I've known him a while, so with no further ado, welcome to Fireside Yarns for the first time, Tony. Tones, welcome to the show, mate. Finally got you on. Finally got you.
Getting famous now.
It's the big time. This is the big time, man.
He's made it. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm actually not too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Been a bit crook through the week, but I'm starting to get the other end of it now, so.
Oh, shit. What have you been running, man?
That super bloody cold hit me and turned into a sinus and chest infection at once, so.
Oh, shit.
That's going round. That shit is, that's Australia-wide shit right there.
Yeah, it's very Australian to just get sick out of the blue.
That's false.
So, I have heard this going around, and because of COVID, everyone, no one's really had the flu as much as what we normally would. So the flu's hitting people harder. How would you rate that against the COVID when you had it? Worse?
Oh, this is nothing compared to that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I woke up crook on Friday. A bit of a sore throat and nose was carrying on. But I did a rapid test and everything. I went to work. Was there for most of the day, and I thought it's just getting worse and worse. So I thought, I'm just going to can it. And went to the doctors and everything. He's going, this thing's actually worse than COVID, but it's really not.
Yeah, okay.
But I had Delta when I had COVID, so I was proper laid out.
Yeah, right. So I didn't even know.
I'm prepared for that shit.
Know what variant I had. Yeah, but you're on the mend now, man, yeah?
Yeah. I'm back at work today, so I went back to TAFE yesterday and I'm back at work today, so.
Yeah, sweet. So, because you're doing an apprenticeship now, aren't you?
Yeah, mature age Boilermaker.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm a sheedy.
Oh, dead set.
Just on the sexy lighter side of shit. You know how it is?
The shiny side.
Taking it up,
Yeah, I'll have to get some pointers off here for me welding comp, so.
You don't want this. I've been out of the game now 2 years.
Oh, really?
I am off the tools, brother.
He's management now, bro.
I pushed out. I'm health and safety now.
He's health and
It is soft.
You're the safety dude. You're that guy.
I'm that guy. But here, I've gotten a fucking grinding disc through my hand and I've got the plastic surgery because of it and all. I know, I've been there. I know, you know.
He's been in the trenches.
I've been in the trenches. That's I think. I don't get it too hard. I don't think because of that. Because every now and then I do hop back in when I need to in the cells and get the fucking MIG torch out and bzz, you know.
Yeah.
Now
all about it.
Tones, you're still playing music too, mate. You're still in the band?
Yeah. Been in the band. I was thinking about it the other day. I think it's coming up 10 years I've been in the band. Yeah,
I seen him like when I went back to Singo, and I think I was in the Impy, and I was just fucking had got like a couple of fucking schooners in my hand, and I was just looked on stage because there was a live band there, fucking pretty good.
That was my Bucks night.
You might have been there.
No, that was my Bucks night. We'd just gone up from the Royal to the Impy, and Tony and the boys were setting up down the back. Where the
you know what? You think you're right. I think you're right. And I was like, that's fucking Tony Baker on guitar.
Yeah, I've got a new guitar now, so I can't wait to.
I'd seen that shit. That's a beautiful guitar.
Nice.
It'd want to be for the money, but yeah, I love it.
We won't mention price.
Guitars.
Yeah, I love talking price. It just makes people.
Yeah.
But you've also done your few like live Facebook live videos as well too.
Yeah.
Doing your acoustic
Yeah,
stuff.
so
That stuff's
I
cool,
do
man.
my Facebook lives. That's the only solo I do.
Yep.
Because I like having that comfort blanket of having the rest of the boys in the band sort of cover my fuck ups. But
it's a different vibe, eh?
yeah.
It's good fun playing with your mates too. Like,
yeah, definitely.
It's a different atmosphere.
Like we've been together 10 years. We're on our second bass player.
Yep.
So, and he's been in with us for
They come and go.
4 years, 5 years maybe.
That's
So,
not bad.
and he's kicking goals with both feet. Like he's killing it. So.
Yeah, nice. Boy, well, speaking of music, boys, this is the topic for tonight.
Oh, segue.
Segues straight into
You
it.
see, Vinno, that was beautiful. I wish I didn't ruin it, but that was sexy. That was a sexy segue.
Almost scripted. We are going to come back and have ask you a few more questions, Tones, but we'll get rolling into this because I'm interested to hear what you boys came up with. So, albums that you've given an absolute hammering to, listen to heaps, might be your favourite albums. That's what we're going to run through tonight. So, Tony, being the guest, I'm going to throw it straight up to you. What's your number
one? So we're
one?
going like chronological order or just any one?
Mate, however
in
you
no
want to throw it
particular
down.
order. You chuck it down, brother.
It could be the same band, chronological order, mate, for the albums. You know, however you want to throw them at us, throw them at us.
It's so subjective, bro. That's how good it is.
Yeah.
Be whatever way you like.
All right, so I'll go with the first album that I really got hooked into. So there's a bit of a backstory to it. So, like, I bought myself an electric guitar. I taught myself how to play, just reading tab off the internet. So, and the first album I came into was The Living End, self-titled album of 1998.
Nice.
Great year for music, by the way. I've got a 98 on here too.
Yeah, it was huge.
The 90s were just good music, man.
Fucking beautiful.
Oh, paved the way. Absolutely paved the way. Like Semi-Charmed Kind of Life, there's heaps of different songs out there that were around the same era.
Yeah.
So did you say you had your electric guitar and you were doing tabs on, I'd say, ultimateguitar.com for...
Yeah, definitely.
Man,
that was the go-to website.
Fucking had every tab, brother. Or at least, and then 50 versions of it that were all wrong. But it didn't matter. It got you there. You got you there. But, so you got your guitar and then you got that album after it? Okay. Now what? Or was it?
It was around the same time. Because all the boys back home, you had Dino and everyone, they were all playing guitar, not well, but they were having a good crack back in the day. And I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna have a crack at this too. So I went to the pawn shop in Kurri Kurri. I was staying there at the time. And it was $110 and I got the amp, the lead, dodgiest fucking Fender Strat lookalike you've ever seen. It was all bent, twisted. And
doesn't matter, man. That's your first act. That's your first.
Everyone had that shape for their first one, eh? With the fucking little burn inlay on it, or red and white with the little fucking guard on it.
Black and white.
Beautiful.
Black and white guard.
I wanted a black and white one, but I got off my parents, so they got me one of those like burn colored ones. You know, like the. But still beautiful though.
Yeah.
And what did you left in it?
No,
gonna hit him up about what's their favorite song off the Living End?
The favorite song would have to be All Torn Down. Just can't go past it.
And that'd be a hard album too, because that had some crackers on there, man, too, didn't it?
Yeah, West End Riot, and Prisoner of Society. It was pretty huge.
That was that was their sort of their groundbreaking album, wouldn't it? Put them in the spotlight.
They had there was 5 songs off that album that went big time, so that was mainstream. Yeah,
man, that's a good pick. Yeah.
Can I just say I've just gone blank on The Living End? Like,
Well, see, for us, it was because they were.
can you hum a popular song or something for us? If that is that possible?
Oh, the ones you would probably know are
Can
the
I get a
shit
hum?
ones. It's
Hum
White
them.
Noise. That's
Yeah,
that
what's
one.
it
Noise
called?
is like that was only a few years ago.
That was when you say a few years, it's probably 20 now. So,
Really?
yeah, dude. Have a look.
Dude, these out when you think
I'm gonna
about
pull
it,
up and have a look.
2002
We're
was
30s
20
now,
years
aren't we?
ago.
When was that
We are
album?
old cunts. OCs. Yeah.
I only just realised that today doing this, looking up these albums, just how fucking old we are. Because
Oh,
some of the
dude.
music feels like it came out yesterday.
Like we were
Um,
still in high school when Linkin Park's album Hybrid Theory came out.
Yeah, man. Year
Yeah,
seven.
bro.
Year seven,
Yeah.
weren't we?
Yeah, we were real young. Like I was 12,
That was the year of the chocolate starfish.
21 years
Hot
ago.
dog flavored water.
Ooh,
Bring your own head. Oh man, how's that not on? That's gonna be me 6. I hope we doubled up now.
I'm surprised you don't have any.
Fuck, it should have been. Here, it'll be
Let's
on the
have a
next one. It was so hard. These aren't me top 5. These are just 5, you know?
Yeah.
Because I could go top 10, top, you know. I got him. I've got one there at 6 anyway.
That one, which album was that? Was it White Noise,
Self-titled.
2008?
White Noise was the name of the
Oh,
album.
wait.
2008.
I want you to sing us
So-
something, you know.
I'm certainly not singing.
I'm
So,
not singing either.
yeah, over, 2008, that album came out with White Noise on it. So,
I'll check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
give
14
I'm gonna
years ago.
check out The Living End, The Living End. And what kind of, how would you describe The Living End to
They are
people like
rockabilly.
me? Rockabilly?
Yeah.
I dig
that
that. I
early
dig
album. That early
Well, I
album was
like-
classified as punk slash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
rock,
that's where I
'cause it was-
kind of seen them on the punk side from afar. Like if I see a Living End T-shirt, I was like, they're punk. But rockabilly, I like the old rock and roll stuff. Like I like Carl Perkins and Jerry Lee Lewis and
Hmm.
fucking Elvis and all that shit. Do you like all that stuff too?
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's sort of.
Sun Records, fucking country, hillbilly, rockabilly mixed with fucking rhythm and blues.
I do the occasional really old country song, just because I enjoy doing it at home. But I don't really play it for anyone. I like the song, so I just taught myself how to play it. Like I don't look at tabs
Like,
anymore.
shit.
If I go, I like that, and I'll just sit there. Could take me an hour, could take me 5 hours, but I'll just nut it out, chord by chord by chord.
Yeah, nice.
Once I get the guitar part down, and then I'll get the lyrics out, and I'll just play the song like 50 times over and over again. Burn it into my mind, and then that's it. I'm good.
Yeah, nice, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, Davey, what do you got?
Me now, yeah.
Yeah, album number 1. Album pick number 1.
So this, I had to put Metallica on here, okay? Like Metallica was one of those bands that fucking, they just changed me whole outlook on music altogether. Like I was literally like Vinno was alluding to there. I was a Limp Bizkit loving, new era, backwards, red cap wearing fucking motherfucker. I loved Limp Bizkit. I loved all the new metal at the time. I loved a lot of hip hop. It was all hip hop and new metal. And the only metal I really liked was from wrestling. You know what I mean? Like the theme songs and a bit of Motorhead and all. But I had my Limp Bizkit fucking hoodie on and my red cap. And my mate, and I might have told this story before on the Music that Shaped Us for a Limp Bizkit song or something. Or maybe even Metallica as well. But my mate Mark Brown's big brother Liam, who was a proper fucking, he's Neo. He looked like Neo from the Matrix. Man, I must have told him. And he knew metal, and he came to me and he handed me a tape that he made for me. Like he made this tape, he recorded it. It's called the Metallimix, and he drew on the front of the cover of the tape, the cassette tape, and fucking it had like fucking 8 songs on it or something like that. And it was a Metallimix. And this song, alright, was the second song. The first song was Four Horsemen by Metallica from Kill 'Em All.
Yes.
But this album, which was nearly I nearly did Kill 'Em All, but I had to pick. Okay, I'm gonna put my favorite on. My favorite Metallica album is Ride the Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Their second studio album. It's still got a hint of Mustaine on it, but the feeling I get from this album is icy cold, electric blue, distortion, wind, and fucking thunderstorm, oceans crashing, crazy shit. And it just has a feel to it, the whole album. I love it. The song I picked on it, and although you could listen from start to finish, so many bangers in the album, is Call Like a Cthulhu, and it is the instrumental, and I think that's the heart of the album. I think that's the background, and if a song could be a cover of an album, it would be Call Like a Cthulhu. It's icy cold, freezing, fucking electricity, and it's obviously, you know, fucking mythical Cthulhu, based in that kind of world, and just a fucking beautiful, like, you had Cliff Burton's bass was trying to mimic the sound of the fucking octopus god, like, and making scratching noises at the boat. And listen to that song, it has so many different segments in it, like it, and then it brings it, like all great Metallica songs, it brings you right back around to that original riff, and then you think the song's over, and it gives you 4 different endings. It's like a wrestling match. It gives you 4 different endings. You think it's over, and bang. So many good bangers off the album too, lads. Ride the Lightning, the title track, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black, Trapped Under Ice, Creeping Fucking Death, Escape, Fight Fire with Fire. Incredible album. Incredible
I think
album.
like that whole album itself, and we were talking about when we were back in high school, when we were all listening to Metallica or got into Metallica around that time, those are the songs that really resonate, because they just, you know, they weren't that old then, I suppose. Not overly old, but they were
1984, man.
I know, but that when we're talking now, like, we're looking back, to us when we were younger, first time hearing it. Holy shit, man! Like, that
nostalgia factor, eh?
Yeah, man. And then when they did like S&M, that was just amazing. That was amazing.
Michael Kamen, the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, man.
Incredible album. Incredible album.
DVD.
Could have been on here. Could have been on here.
Could have been. Could have been.
But yeah, that's my number one. That's my number one. And
starting them off big, boys.
Oh, it's such a fucking good album. Such a good album. And here, Metallica, kind of in the news again recently because of Stranger Things. All these people are just Master of Puppets was in the show
in an episode,
and all these people that hadn't heard Metallica, or if they did, they just thought it was, you know, Hetfield yodeling now.
A lot of people trying to gatekeep Metallica as well.
Man. Oh, I hate that. Don't get me started, because we again, 1984. This was before we were born, lads. This is half a decade more before we were born. Well, maybe not. About exactly that. But I discovered Metallica in like 1999 or 2000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's when I was given that tape. When I was on me fucking significant other, like, bring it on, and that shook me.
Stage.
Even though it's old and nostalgic, for when we first heard it, it was new.
Yes.
And I envy those kids now that think, what the fuck, when they hear dan 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 dan, I'm really like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This isn't like every other song, because that's what's different about that type of music. It's not just intro, fucking chorus, verse, chorus, outro. It's like you're on a trip. You know what I mean? You are on a fucking...
It completely breaks down and destroys the traditional structure of a song. Man.
They're so good. And Sabbath before them and all. I won't hammer on too much. I got roped back in there. Vinno, what is your number one?
Oh, they're now going to follow those up. So
they're going to get worse from my end, so don't worry about
it. So my number one, I've gone with... This was probably they'd be in my top 5 all-time favorite bands. This is the self-titled album. Came out in 2005. It was Reese that showed me this band originally. That was when we were working together when we were apprentices. We had this tiny little CD player that we had in between our hoists. And we'd just throw music and stuff on there. And Reese threw this album on, and it was
CDs?
hard to... Sorry?
Was it CDs?
CDs, man. Yeah. Burnt CDs. Yeah.
Yes.
Had to make sure they were clean. You know, give them a fucking quick rub down.
Contact cleaner.
Yeah, dude. Surprisingly, I did try and it worked for a while, but then it burns away the bottom. Toothpaste. If you cover the bottom of the CD
I had heard that.
in
It fills in the
toothpaste,
cracks.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
put it in the fridge and it lets it settle, and then you wipe it down. Yeah. But then eventually the acid in the toothpaste burns the bottom of the CD, so it'll work for a short period of time, but then destroys the whole thing. But yeah, Reese threw this album on, and I listened to it and went, "Holy shit, this is amazing." And sort of at that point that I started going and watching shows and getting wrapped into sort of the hardcore scene there, I suppose you'd say. But this band and this album, so it's a self-titled album from Miles Away, came out in 2005. And it's, you'd say on the melodic side of hardcore, but this album in particular, just, yeah, I can throw it on now and still just love it. So my pick off that
Does it bring you back?
does, man.
Is it one of those
Absolutely.
albums?
It's one of those albums that if I'm had a few and I'm sitting out the back or whatever and I'm feeling nostalgic, I'll throw this one up. Absolutely love it. So song off this one is without a doubt This Heart. The song is called This Heart. Yeah, it's a very sentimental song for me, I suppose. Yeah, love it. So that's my number one, Miles Away, self-titled.
What's the song about?
I'm gonna give you
I
a
guess
listen.
it's hard. It's hard, is it? Yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah, have a listen.
No, don't
Have a listen. It's
have a listen.
yeah, if you like punkier stuff, melodic punk, that sort of music, melodic hardcore genre sort of thing. I don't like getting wrapped into and trapped in the genre argument when it comes to that sort of music, because each different person classifies it differently. So
Yeah, it's one of them things, eh?
oh man, and you know, like we were just talking about with gatekeeping music, gatekeeping genres, and all that sort of stuff. Like it all gets a bit ridiculous, and
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. Tones, your band. We were having a brief chat last night. You guys are playing a pretty big show soon, aren't you? This year?
Yeah, so we've got 2 weeks time on the 20th of August. We're playing at the Bradford in Rutherford, and that's sort of our warm-up gig for the Monkerai BNS.
Nice,
Hey, brother.
nice. So is that? Are you playing over just the one night? Are you playing headlining? What's the?
I don't think we'll be headlining. We're playing the Friday night. Because our drummer, he'll be away on the Saturday, so it sort of landed perfectly.
Sweet.
They dropped us on a Friday night, so we can just roll up, play the gig, and we can all go home. You know what I mean? So
Or have a few beers and hang around afterwards.
Or stick around.
I've done that way too many times, and it just turns into a mess. So.
Yeah.
As long as you do the partying
Get the
afterwards.
equipment home. Yeah.
Because we played Monkerai a few times, so we've done. I think I've played there 6 times or 7 times.
Yeah, right.
So, and there was one year there, wrote myself off. Made a total dick of myself. But I squashed a bottle of rum before I hit the stage. I couldn't even see my hands, let alone feel them, and I played a whole 90-minute set. And then went backstage and then just kept drinking. And out in the party, just running amok with everybody, covered in food dye.
Messy.
What's the date of that? What's the date of that so our Hunter Valley folk can go watch us?
So the Monkerai BNS, and I'll bring it up on my phone because I don't actually remember the date.
Consummate professional.
It is the 26th, 27th of August.
Yeah,
Get on
nice.
it.
And what
Get
night
on
at the Bradford? What's the dates for the Bradford there, mate?
The Bradford will be the 20th, so that will be a Saturday night.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Anyone that's around the Rutherford, Maitland area, even if you're down this way, get down and watch the guys down there at the Bradford Hotel.
Make the trip,
Do it.
boys.
Go and support the locals. Heckle them if you need to, but get down there and support as well.
Yeah, might have to pull the chicken wire up now. Yeah, like Blues Brothers. Yeah.
Higher security. All right,
Definitely.
Tony, back to you, mate.
Number 2.
Album number 2.
All right, so we'll go with keeping with that theme of Monkerai BNS and country music and stuff like that. So I've got my number 1, because I've got it number 1 on my list, but number 2
Yep.
will be the Zach Brown Band. The Foundation is the album.
Nice.
It's 12 songs on the album, so it's not huge, but every single one of them is just insane.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
and insane as in they're really well written, they're well performed, everything produced perfectly, and the ideas behind it is just, yeah, can't get enough. And that was the first Zach Brown Band album that I'd heard.
Yeah, right.
So,
So I don't know who Zach Brown is. Is he
American,
Australian or American or?
He's American, so I think he's from Georgia.
Georgia.
So,
And is that
Yeah,
country
Georgia.
music? Is it the rockabilly or a blues crossover?
yeah, that's
type?
country.
Yeah.
That's actual country. So, but they do a lot of Caribbean and
Oh
yeah,
shit.
Right.
they mix a lot of country in with that sort of style. And they had an album out called Jekyll and Hyde. And I think their entire purpose of that album was to see how many genres they could fit in the one album.
Nothing
So
like
they had,
nothing like a challenge.
I dig it.
yeah,
Hmm.
so they had like full redneck twang, like smooth country melodic. They even had like a techno song in there,
Yeah,
Oh
right.
shit.
like it
Bit
was
of
hectic.
hasty Dixie. I dig it.
Yeah, but definitely the Foundation was the first one I ever heard, and it's probably my favorite. Out of all
Song?
12 songs, I love every single one of them. So my favorite song
Fuck yeah.
it's called Kind of Fine, and it's just smooth beat. The film clip on YouTube is their live performance up in the mountains, like the Rockies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you get the stage, the crowd. The intro into it is them on their tour bus before they went to the stage, just running through the songs with the acoustics. So the whole thing,
I
like, they're
love
pretty
that.
down to earth. Yeah,
Yeah. I love when a band does, for their music video is basically like a live concert snippet. Like Pantera do a heap of that as well.
Mm.
Like and the old Metallica songs because they have to make them right. But all those bands did because MTV wasn't around before they had their music
that's
videos.
right.
But I just love because country music's about people being around you and playing music and playing songs, and ballads and having everybody there and having a bit of a jamboree, like fucking
Sitting around the
So that's
fire.
awesome.
Sitting around the
yeah,
fireside.
that's right. That's country as fuck. Because
Yeah.
a lot of rock and roll, metal, blues, all kind of old country a little bit. Country kind of doesn't get the
Recognition that
the
it
thank.
deserves.
It does not because Elvis was. Everyone's like, oh, he stole from the blues and all that kind of stuff. It's like, well, he also stole from country and rockabilly and fucking as well as gospel, heavy gospel, influence as well. But country, country's, I'll have to admit, it's not something I bear. Like, I don't like the whole, well, I'm in my truck and I'm going. Like, but I loved it. But
Dave's
it is
throwing
a bit
down
fun.
stereotypes.
And I'm going down fast, and I'm putting, or even like Garth Brooks,
You do
like,
it so well,
I
Mark.
got friends in low. Like,
Oh,
he's good.
man.
But
As soon as I
like
hear that
yeah,
song, it
so
I
takes
like
me
the
back.
out.
outlaw
off.
country guys. I like the
Mm.
the Ernie Ford, Johnny Cash, and fucking all them boys.
Yeah,
Waylon Jennings and fucking
Waylon
Willie
Jennings.
Nelson, Chris
Yeah.
Christopherson, the Highwaymen. Yeah.
Oh, now.
Bro.
Yeah, definitely.
So so Zach Brown is kind of like he's country but with a bit of Caribbean, did you say? Or
Yeah,
Bit of
so they
everything.
just sort of they mix a bit of everything into every one of their songs. So
Nice.
just incredibly talented musicians, each and every one of them. They all sing. They all swap instruments as well. So they'll be halfway through a show and then they'll go, righto, swap around. And then Zach Brown will be on a bass and he's still singing. And next thing, get off a piano and he's on a lap still. Like,
Yeah, right.
just insane. Yeah, really good. The bass player actually, he does all the Metallica covers at all their shows. So
Fuck
they do
yeah.
Sandman and he smashes it, man. Yeah, it's really good.
Speaking of covers, do you guys have any covers in your set, or they originals?
Yeah, we do heaps of covers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you
Like
play
probably
any?
80% covers.
Yep.
We do play our own songs, but it's sort of one of them things where you got to sort of read the room.
Yeah.
Before you throw them out there. So.
It's hard playing in a to a new crowd that doesn't sort of know you, and playing originals. And you've got to be tactical with how you throw them in there.
That's right.
Engage people. If no one's listening to you, there's no point playing that original, because then they're not going to listen even more if it's not to their taste.
Yeah, that's right.
The cover will grab somebody.
Absolutely, the right cover. You play the Nutbush anywhere, man, and fucking people come running.
Yeah, people. You want to get people dancing. You want to get people moving, and then they stay there for your songs. That's beautiful.
Mambo number 5. Just throw it down. Everyone will come.
We actually did that at our last gig at the Impy.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah. We played an Ed Sheeran song.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mambo number 5.
No.
Which Ed Sheeran? Galway Girl?
No, not Galway Girl. No, it was Castle on the Hill. We played that because that's the old vocal. And I wasn't wearing my in-ear monitors at the time. I was just running a wedge in front of me mic stand. So, and as soon as we hit that chorus and everybody's just screaming top of their lungs, I couldn't hear myself through the speaker over the top of everybody. So I just sort of started playing and let them do it.
That's it, man. Do the old Beatles.
That was
just
awesome.
Just start swearing and yelling at them, and no one will know any different.
I'm like, I'm a rock star. This is so good.
What a good feeling, but
oh, it is so good, yeah.
Yeah.
Except at the end of the song when they all go, whoa, and you've got nothing covering your ears, and it's just completely inaudible for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, man. Need to have a break. Go out and have a drink just to get your hearing back.
Had to have a durry, grab another can of rum.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, Davey. Number 2.
All right. The number 2 of picks. Now, look, I had to again. I'm like, this album, alright, is pretty fucking. It was the first album I really listened to of this artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is Eminem's The Marshall Mathers LP from 2001.
Oh shit.
I fucking love this album. Now I love the Slim Shady LP as well. I think those two might probably in my top 10 albums ever. Mm-hmm. They would be 2 Eminem albums. But if I was weighing up which one to pick today, and it had to be the Marshall Mathers LP because it's just so much more personal. Even though I think the Slim Shady LP is well more fun, and he's real funny and cartoonish, but also pretty rough with his lyrical content. When it comes to the Marshall Mathers LP, it's guttural, personal,
something
vicious.
Else when it came out, wasn't it?
It's so much distortion behind them, right?
And there is some absolute fucking bangers on that album, man.
Well, look, I'm going to read through them now.
Yeah.
Listen to this. There's this is a public service announcement. This skits, and then there's "Kill You." Stan was huge. Like that was fucking threw him into a different universe.
Speaking of Stan, I was on YouTube last night just while Tony and I were getting things set up, and there was a video showed up of a psychiatrist listening to Stan and reacting to it and talking about it, and holy shit, like, you know, that's because when did that come out? 2001. So
2001.
And that was only recorded.
Stan was the single though, so that might have been the tail end of 2000 or 2001.
Yeah,
but that
still
was
around
big
that
fucking
era, and you know, he's sitting there talking about it, and it's still huge.
That was
now.
epic.
It's still
epic.
Still referenced in pop culture constantly now. So
because no one had done that before. No one had really. He made a whole, because the whole album is basically about after he released the Slim Shady LP, he was getting blamed for kids killing people. He was getting blamed for kids killing themselves. He was getting, people were saying, look at this stuff he's saying. He means it. That's who he is. You know, so like I'll keep reading through them now. So there's Paul Berman's skit, Who Knew? Great. Because that's like, who knew I could affect this kid? You know. And then Steve Berman, The Way I Am, that's another kind of like, and even Marilyn Manson did a version with him, even though he was in the music video, but he did it live MTV Music Awards. That song's amazing. The Real Slim Shady, again, it's about how all of a sudden, like, that was again another huge track off the album that's just so funny, and that he did to poke at everybody.
Yep.
Kind of like Hi, My Name Is. And then you've got Remember Me, and it's got fucking Sticky Fingers from fucking, oh man, unbelievable. I'm Back, that's why they call me. Unbelievable.
Shady.
Marshall
I'm
Mathers
back.
goes on. Oh, that I love that. Ken Kniff.
I Am had so much anger in his voice, but he was letting
Dude,
a shit.
he was
Like,
serious.
that's,
I can't even take a shit in the bathroom without someone standing by it. Like it was attacking the
No
fans.
one
Like,
will
no one's
sign your
signing your
autograph.
autograph.
You can call me an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm glad because I
I love it.
Man,
I
used to be
love
able to. I used to be able to like sing that word for word, that whole song. But
Dude, that's
even
one of
the,
those listening to it and be like,
yeah, because the
he
beat
meant every lyric.
straight away when you hear that first, like the bell chime sort of.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, man, it's just a very.
He's talking to
dark
Dre. He's
beat
like,
to
Dre.
it. Need more snare in my headphones. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, this is for, fuck it.
Just shut up and listen.
Shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, because he's like, this one goes out. It's like, no, shut up and listen.
Yeah.
He's back with this back, a zigzags, and his back, and his weed, and this.
Need the shit. Yeah, it needed to be the most.
Oh,
yes,
mate.
But just that whole song.
The whole
it's
song
just dark,
was special.
man. It's
But that's
fucking-
not me. That's not the song I'm picking yet.
Oh,
Because it nearly was The Way I Am. Okay, it could have been heaps of these songs, right? But then you got Drug Ballad, you got Amityville. I nearly put Amityville on there because there's his second verse in Amityville is just fucking the way he's just it's rapid fire, it's beautiful, and it's angry as well. You're right, lads. It has a visceral anger about it. And then there's Bitch Please too. So that happens right after Amityville, which brings in fucking Exhibit and fucking. It's got that Dre style beat to it, and Nate Dogg at the end. Oh man, great fucking track. Kim. Oh.
So that
Wow.
my parents took
That's
that
a vicious
album.
song.
My parents
Yes.
took that album off me because of that song, man.
Dude.
I had it playing.
You
I
could not do
thought
that
I was home
song
by
now.
myself.
Yeah.
No, they'd come home and heard that part, and they were like, "Give that." So I burnt it. And,
Dude. All these songs, if you're... There's another thing. Think about us in 2001, listening to these songs. We would have been 12, 13, whatever,
Yep.
listening to these albums, and our parents hearing some dude in our room screaming about killing his wife, screaming at her. And then all of the whole album, but then we're not even through with it. Then you've got Under the Influence, cran yam 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 yam, and then your parents go, at least that song's over, Kim, and then so you can suck my dick
if you don't like my shit,
because I was high when I
wrote this, so suck.
And his
my
D12 was there, and then so he took you through that whole album, okay. And it was all the same stuff that people were crazy about from the Slim Shady LP, but it was amped up and it was personal, and he was bringing real people into this shit. Okay, and it was people were like, he's fucked. And at the end, he does something fantastic. He puts the song, and this is the song I'm picking as my favorite song on the album. And it hasn't always been my favorite song, but it had come to be my favorite song because he was giving you the wink with this song, and the song is Criminal.
Mm.
Now, you
I'm a
cannot
criminal.
play that song now. The first verse of Criminal, you're cancelled. Oh, the whole album's cancelable, but particularly in this day and age, and you can understand why and all. But the beauty about Criminal is
The chorus there, especially, is that what you're about?
the chorus. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to explain that this isn't real. He's kind of telling you it's not real, but he's like, and through the whole song, he's basically like, my knives are like a dagger with a jagged edge that will stab you in the head, whether you're and he and he's talking about how his words are weapons, basically, but and it's not real. And then by the end, it's like, half the shit I say, I just make it up to make you mad, so kiss my white naked ass. And if it's not a rapper, then I'll make it as, I'm gonna be a fucking rapist in a Jason mask. Like, he's giving it away.
Yeah.
And through the whole song and even the album, the whole thing is about that, like this isn't real. You know what I mean? And I'm doing this stuff, and it's shocking you, but it's not real. Like
It's entertainment, and he
so
references that later as well. And in plenty of other
through
songs.
all of his stuff. Yeah.
Comes back and says,
Like,
we're entertainers. We just say this shit.
Sing for the moment.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. like how could I raise a child if I was,
Yeah.
that we're entertainers.
And he's got an obligation to the kid. What's that? The monologue that he has.
Oh, I
you know,
love
as
that.
it-
Those
as it-
kids
we-
that sing for what's it? Having a dream, just a dream in a fucking rap magazine, and then he
Yeah.
talks about who idolize their favorite rappers and know all their songs, and I love it. I love Eminem, but that album, like I love the Slim Shady LP was the first album I really loved because it was kind of wacky and you were at that age where you just loved that shit. But when that came out, it was wow. It was so serious and personal, and it just elevated him to beyond hip hop.
And having that one
Em-
hit
yeah.
off it as well, like that.
Well, he
made
had
it to
some the
mainstream.
real Slim Shady, Stan.
Well, the
Stan
real Slim
was-
Shady
yeah.
when it hit, so it was on Rage and it was on the radio stations first, and that's the hit that I think initially sold the most albums. I remember being on the Year 7 school camp, and everybody,
Video, man.
it was just as that album had just come out, everybody was singing at me, like.
And he hit all the celebrities in it. He attacked them all.
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
that gross burger ring with this fucking spit in it in the video, and all the machines chunking out Slim Shadys. But man, he was so good, eh?
There's
so
a little
good.
Slim Shady in all of us.
In all of us, there is. Vinno,
Yeah.
what is your number 2?
All right. My number
Shit,
2
we're still
comes.
only up to 2.
Yeah, brother. You were worried
I
that it was
reckon
gonna.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
it just goes,
oh my
brother.
God,
It just
man.
goes.
Told you we can talk.
I reckon 1 hour we do a quick pissy.
Yeah,
One
we'll
hour,
have a
yeah.
break. Well,
Yeah.
You guys
Alright.
can have a piss. I'll go and have a smoke and we'll reconvene.
Bro.
All right, so my album number 2 comes from another one of my favorite bands. This is probably my number 1 actually.
Fuck.
Number 1 band of all time. So this is from a 1997 album that got remastered in 2005. The band is Pennywise. So got into these guys from my older brother, and the album that actually he gave me was Straight Ahead, and I love that album. It was a hard pick between that one and this one, but the album I've got here is Full Circle, which is just from start to finish one of my favorite albums ever. It's amazing in my opinion, and it's got some unreal songs on there, but the most significant song on there, I suppose, is Bro Him, which is the last song on there, and it's the song they wrote for a mate that passed away. Anyone that doesn't know the story of Pennywise, Pennywise the band, not the clown, go and have a look. But the other song I've got off that album as my pick is Broken. Just a song that I think that was the first song I heard off that album, and just thought, yeah, fuck yeah, these guys are unreal. Loved it. So,
We love, like, did it resonate with you in a certain way, or you know what I mean? Like, you were obviously drawn to it. So what was
loved
the specific point
so
of that song?
Pennywise. I was drawn to it anyway, because that was the first time I'd heard Byron McMacken play drums. Right, and
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, holy fuck, what is this? I'd gone from listening to, Lars Ulrich play, which was
Oi,
Pretty laid
give him
back.
credit on
Earlier-
Justice for All.
Man.
Justice for All, Lars Ulrich and Master of Puppets, Lars Ulrich was good.
yes.
Yes, he was. Come on,
But
everybody. Be nice.
I'm talking Black Album, Lars Ulrich.
Well, the whole band slowed down for
Yeah.
Black Album. The whole band did.
He got lazy. it's powerful
But yeah,
drumming.
going from
It's-
that to a punk band like Pennywise,
man, and the
it would have
speed,
inspired you, right?
yeah, the tempo, just everything about Byron
The
McMacken
skill,
man was
bro.
just insane.
Drummers are like boxers, man. I always look at drummers kind of in an athletic way as well, because fucking
until
dude,
we've had a fucking
to
bottle of
move
scotch,
your
man.
hands in that type of fucking way, dude. That's it, and
not
to
just
hit your
the whole-
targets. Poor. And feet.
You throw
Yeah,
the
of
feet in
course.
there, and you got a whole
Especially
body
in a
workout.
band
just
like
one
Pennywise.
song,
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
3 minute rounds in a ring, man. You're playing a full song on the drums. That's hectic. Like,
It's
hats off
rough,
to you.
man.
I've certainly gotten
And
fatter since I
and
haven't
what
played.
song did you pick again? What song did you pick off it?
So I had Bro Him and
Throw in. Yeah.
and Broken, but Bro Him specifically.
Yep.
I mean, the chant in that is, if you're in the punk scene and you don't know that Bro Him chant, then get the fuck out, because it's
Fuck yeah.
it's iconic. Yeah, so they have redone that song a few times, but that's one where they have a lot of their friends in the recording studio doing almost somewhat live recording for it.
The Bro Him.
Yeah, and you can hear, you get a sense of the camaraderie that they're doing that song. But like I said, that album from start to finish I could listen to any day. In fact, I did for today while I was going through and picking these. I was torn between...
I did on a flick.
Yeah, I did have a little flick.
Through Spotify.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to narrow down the albums that I wanted, so I was listening to albums from start to finish. A lot of my day was just spent doing that.
How good is that? That's what I like kind of about these episodes, because they force me to be like, well, oh shit, okay, if I'm being put on the spot here, what are some great albums? And you're not just thinking about, I'm thinking about what is an album I can listen to all the way through, has a feel to it that really resonates with me. And also, I think with someone else, if I put it out there, someone will be like, I'll check that out, and they'll have that feeling that I got when they got it, that change your idea of what music can do to you type of feeling. I dig it, bro.
Well, even the first time that you hear a band as well, and you hear the album from start to finish, it can be a pretty powerful experience too. And like you said before about people hearing Metallica for the first time, I'm envious of those people that are just witnessing it now, because we were
that's
younger.
What it is. It's jealousy. It's like you can't be here. You're not. It's almost those are the fans that hate Metallica. It's like we love Metallica so much that we've gone around and we hate them now. So you can't even, when you come in going, oh, this is a great song, you're like, you don't even know how angry we are that Cliff died. And I'm like, they're going, it's like, oh, well, how much pubes does James Hetfield have? Like, don't get me started on it.
It's gone down the end.
Bane speech is like, oh, you just merely adopted the dark. I was born.
Yeah, it's you probably like the Black Album. Like, it should be welcome aboard, and man, I envy those kids.
Absolutely.
Dude. I envy them, because that's their eardrums hearing that vibration for the first fucking time.
It's potentially another couple of generations coming through, isn't it? And experiencing the same things, and that's the beauty of music.
Yeah.
Speaking of albums,
motivate the band some new music again too. So they got,
well, they're getting old. They could, they could easily just live the rest of their lives either doing tours, and
but they could live off. They could have lived off their first four albums if they wanted to before Black Album, and then they released that, and I'm still impressed with Metallica. I'm still impressed.
Yeah.
Speaking of albums though, Tony, are you guys putting out an album? Are you recording soon? Are you?
It's a sore subject, eh? Like, we've been trying to record our album for the last 3 years, and it's all my fault. I'm just lazy. I haven't been back to do my parts.
Man, it's been a crazy 3 years, COVID and all the rest.
Yeah. I finally lined up a weekend to go down. I said, righto, Sunday afternoon I'm going to go down. I'm going to lay down all the rhythm tracks. So, and he went, yeah, no worries. But he goes, I'll be home. I should be home by the time I get there. I said, oh yeah, where you going? He goes, oh, I've got a few gigs in Sydney, and it was right at hotspot lockdown, like when it's just as it opened, and I went, sorry dude, I can't afford to not be at work. So
yeah, and that's it, man. Like, it's not.
You've got the life, right?
Yeah. COVID killed a lot of things in the music industry, and if you've got your home studio and you know what you're doing, great. It's a great time for people to be creative,
making their own music.
Yeah, for you guys that are going down to try and record in the studio and that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, so he has his own home studio out the back, but he's also a musician, so that was his prime, what he made his money doing. So
That was his bread and
Yeah,
butter.
he's really good, but like, we go in there, we can be there the entire day. If he's got some ideas, he'll throw them at us. If I go, I'm not sure, he'll throw some ideas at me again for that specific part. And,
Good producer.
you know, if he goes, I want a different sound here, take this $7,000 Fender Stratocaster and do something with it. Like,
Yeah,
like,
nice.
dude, I can't afford to look at it, let alone touch it. But
Yeah. It's like hold this vase. It's like, ugh, all right.
yeah,
Like I get like that. People tell me to hold their babies. I'm like, oh, I know.
Yeah,
You know.
man. I've got a fear of dropping babies too, but
like a
You know,
young
yeah.
Disney
If it's
Hercules.
mine, I'll hold mine by a leg. I don't give a fuck. But if it's someone else's, it's like, oh shit. You
Yeah.
know?
So how many tracks you got on the album, mate?
I think we've got, I think there's 8 or 9.
Nice.
But since I've been crook like over the weekend, I wrote a new guitar riff and I've written a bass line, so
Yeah, nice.
I've sent that away. So the lead singer's going to put some words to that, and then we've got band practice this Sunday. So where we've all finally come together because the bass player, congratulations, Isaac, has just had. So everyone seems to be healthy and happy and getting along, so
Fantastic.
that's awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, but the first time we've sort of come together since, what was it, end of May.
Yeah, right, huh?
So yeah.
Very good. Have you got a like a planned release date or just trying to get it recorded?
Nah, it's just
Done.
more get it recorded, and then once it's all done, then we'll just go, by the way, here's an album.
Yeah, no, plug that stuff.
Fuck yeah,
man.
we'll pump that shit.
Yeah, send us.
Yeah.
Let us know when it's coming out, and have you got an album name? You got
No, we haven't really thought that far into it.
Night,
We've got all the
Night
songs
by the
on
Fireside
that.
would be that wouldn't be a bad name for the album.
I don't know.
Oh, we should you should play a gig on Fireside and we'll live stream it.
Yeah.
Just have me, you know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, just 2 years. Yeah.
You're doing your country shit and we're like, how is it
Headbanging.
country though? Or what is it? Is it all country?
Yeah, most of it. Like, there's different aspects. So we like to think of ourselves as country rock. We lean more towards the rock
Oh
side.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But as you know, rock's very alternative, and it can be slow and boring, or it can be really fast and hectic. So, but we've got a few. Like, I've written a power ballad, so that's one of my songs, and it was co-written with our lead singer. That was an interesting story behind that one. So,
Yeah, nice.
There you go.
yeah,
Well,
that was-
we're looking forward to that shit for real, man.
Absolutely,
I'll
man.
listen to that.
yeah, definitely. Like, that was we were a bottle of whiskey deep. Let's write a song. And we got that one
That's some
crashed
country
out in like 10
shit.
minutes. Got that one crashed out in 10 minutes. We thought, let's go and get another bottle. We'll write another song.
Doesn't
And,
work.
Right.
Doesn't work that way,
Yeah.
though, does it?
5 hours later, we were passed out, and we only had the one song. So,
Yeah. Probably had some
Um,
really cool riffs though.
oh, not really, but it was really like it's a ballad, like it's a breakup ballad. That one. So,
Yeah, right.
Oh, dog. Yeah, man. Let us
Yeah.
fucking listen to that shit. I love fucking love songs. I fucking love songs, dude.
it was.
But that's for another day.
That's
Yeah.
all
we
right.
should do that. We should do top 10 love songs. All right.
Barry White all the way.
Oh,
All right.
No way.
We'll run through another set before we have a quick smoke and piss break.
yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
I
Get
reckon
the
we
threes
can, we
out.
can pump through. We can pump through threes, and then we'll because we got still plenty more questions and stuff to ask Tony after. So
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, these are the ones that I don't know about. I'm sure.
Oh, bro.
I took the
We are going to
underpants
get to
ones
the
out.
bottom of who Tony is.
Where were you on the night of the 5th?
Yeah. All right, mate. Tony, number 3.
Oh, number 3. So we're going to keep on the country theme. So you got Brad Paisley.
Oh,
He's an insane guitarist. Like, I mean, insane of insane. So, and his album, he's got heaps of them. Like, he's got like 13 albums or something.
Mm.
3 of them are just instrumental. Like, he's just awesome. So, American Saturday Nights has 15 songs. My favorite is Catch All the Fish.
Sounds like
That's
Dave.
literally the.
having a flick.
But you'll have to.
Having a flick.
Yeah,
catch
you'll have
fish,
to
let me
listen
tell
to
you.
it because it is a comedy song, but it's like half serious, but it's just funny. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Really
sweet.
high pace. Like I can play the rhythm side to it, but I can't play the way he does. So,
Shit.
But
because
if
he
you,
uses like all 4 fingers when he's
Yeah,
smashing
man.
out.
Those
It's
different
fucking
guitar players, like Mark Knopfler. fucking plays
Yeah.
like that. Fucking hell, man.
Those freaks.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Plucks the shit out of it and all. With his pinky finger and fucking this finger, like plugging shit. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
Get the
Get
fuck
out of
out.
here.
Get the fuck out.
like
Put a
strong
pick in your
hand.
hand. Yeah. Yeah. Get away with that bass playing shit.
He loves it. He loves it. But yeah, it's a
That's
great
awesome.
album. So Catch All the Fish, you'll have to listen to it because it's
So
I
is
can't
Catch
be-
All the Fish is the song, is it?
my favorite
album.
song. There's
Yeah.
heaps of them. So you've got American Saturday Night, which is the name of the song, which is off the album.
Mhm.
Got Water, then Welcome to the Future. There's so many good songs on that.
Fuck yeah.
So, and he's like a lot of his shows, he runs a lot on comedy. He uses the comedy to keep his shows moving. It's not just about the music.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah, and he loves the comedy. Like he held, what was it, CMT Awards or something, and he hosted that with Carrie Underwood for like 6 years in a row, and
Yeah,
they were
right.
just hilarious. So
Yeah.
Brings a different
yeah, he's
aspect
really
to the
good.
show
in
too, doesn't
everything,
it?
yeah, everything he does, he just wants to be the best at. So he puts a lot of time and effort into it.
One of those
I love
freaks,
that.
man. One of those people that's just he's probably naturally talented at fucking everything. But like,
Yeah,
one of those motherfuckers that picks up a
it's a
football
fucking
for the first
burden on
time
us,
and can
though.
play.
yeah, it is. Like he went to
a burden.
college for music, so like that doesn't really count. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit lame. That's a bit lame.
But he said, "Ought to be
Oh,
awesome."
he's just a uni kid. Oh, here's my uni song. Here's my thesis, everybody.
In the form of a song.
Oh, here's my dissertation. Get out of here.
All right,
You can't
Davey.
learn music. All right.
Number 3.
That's my third.
Number 3 for me, Vinny, is I gotta put a Pantera song on
All
there. Pantera to me bring me back to when I was a little kid in Ireland, and I was in that little metal scene, and it was we were all about Pantera because Pantera was our favorite fucking band. Pantera was hard. It was metal that was tough as fuck. You could jump around and dance to fucking Pantera, but you could fight to
Punch
it. You could
people.
fucking
Yeah.
Phil Anselmo can sing high, he can growl low. They have beautiful songs, but the groove, there's a country groove to Pantera as well. There's a bit, you know what I mean? That's some fucking southern shit. But so off that album, obviously, Cowboys from Hell's the album I'm picking.
Yes.
Cowboys from Hell. Such a
Mhm.
good fucking album. It's not their first album because they had like power metal and metal magic and all that, but it was their first proper this is Pantera studio released album, and it was unreal.
Yeah.
Oh man. And if we're going through the songs now, and I'll leave out the song that's going to be my favorite one, but it's a very sentimental song, obviously.
Try and
you'll
pick it.
pick the shit out of it. It's Cemetery Gates. I'm just gonna say it. Man, Cemetery. I remember me and my friends just drinking a bottle of Buckfast and whiskey in fucking St. Stephen's Green Park, drunk off our heads, 13, 14. The days of our lives, always leaving for Australia, and we were just singing fucking Cemetery Gates and shit, and we're all been all fucking cry metalheads. But so it's just so special to me, even though Pantera represents so much energy and fucking fraternal energy with me and my mates and such a fucking bulletproof feeling, and the fact that they would play Pantera before the local blast shows where all the local bands would play, they would play Pantera in between the bands get setting up and all, and that's when we really go off. So good. But Cemetery Gates, such a special song.
That acoustic intro, man, just fucking
Oh,
blows
dude.
anyone away.
Phil singing
Mm.
and Phil growling up and down, and then at the end when he's matching Dime's fucking pinch harmonics with his screaming, and it's just such an epic song. Is the dive? Well, that's right. He's hitting the dive. He's trying to match the dive bombs, and the dive. Oh, bro. Such a great song from a great album. But think of this: what's on the album? The self-titled song "Cowboys from Hell."
Mhm.
Fuck, that's a kicking down the door of metal song. Hold on.
What an
We're from the
intro
South.
song. though, like intro to that album.
No,
No, but like the start of an album, you fucking throw that on there. That's gonna grab anyone's attention.
Well, because it's little palm mutes. And then like, oh man, dude, and it's man, here we come, reach for your gun, and they're Cowboys. Oh man, the dudes, man. But here, look, then you got that song. You got Primal, Concrete Sledge, Heresy, Domination, Shattered, The Art of Shredding. Domination's one of the best Pantera songs ever. Art of Shredding, Clash with Reality, Psycho Holiday. Fuck, what an album. What a fucking pun. Dude, and when was that? 1990? 1990, dude. Man. Wow.
They just don't make what they used to do.
They really don't.
They're getting talked about a fair bit again now, Pantera too.
Well, that's a good segue, Vinny. You know, because Pantera.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on? I want your thoughts first. So, Tony, are you aware of what's happening with Pantera at the moment, as far as the talk about them? And
it's a comeback.
Well,
it's so there's talk that that they are going to do a reunion, but a lot of people, or there's a lot of talk that they should be cancelled because of their views, and stage presence, and all those sorts of things.
The big thing is that people don't think it's a reunion.
That's people that actually that are fans of Pantera. That's another side to the story, because Dimebag and Vinny aren't there anymore. In my opinion, no, I asked for yours first, but that's what's going on. That's why they've been spoken about at the moment.
Well, as far as cancelling Pantera, whatever, like you can't cancel their music. Isn't in any way racist or anything like that. There may have been moments when Dime dropped the N-bomb.
Yeah,
Dime didn't drop dive bombs. Dime dropped the N-bomb a couple of times. Phil Anselmo's done fucking Sig Hoyles and has had some bad views. But here's the thing, that their music's not about that. No. And either way, you're gonna have to cancel David Bowie. For being a fucking little rapist pedophile. You're gonna have to get rid of them all. You're gonna get rid of Pantera for dropping some shitty 90s
It opens the
quips.
floodgates, doesn't it? It opens the floodgates for danger.
But forgetting that, the big thing within the community of Pantera fans is that it's not a reunion because Vinny and Dime are not there. Now, the reason Vinny and Dime are not there, everybody, is that they're dead. And the people that have given permission for this to happen even are Vinny and Dime's family are getting paid. Now, this is a reunion tour. So what they're doing is all the original members that are alive now are there, which is one of the two main people in Pantera, really, for what people love about them, Phil Anselmo and Rex Brown on bass, the original bassist. Now, of course, people love Dime, and Dime might be one of the main reasons you love Pantera. Dime and Phil are like the face of Pantera. Now, you can love Vinnie Paul all you want, and you know, you can argue that he started the band and is in his father's studio and all that when they were a little glam rock tribute band to Kiss. And Vinnie Paul is one of the best, most tightest drummers for the sound, and I love Vinnie Paul.
He's an inspiration, man. Absolute inspiration.
Yeah. Oh, the drummers, I'd imagine. Now, and the people they've got to fill in for Dime and Vinny during this tour of Pantera's songs are friends of the family, like Zakk Wylde and Dime were like that, and they're also, if you could pick someone to be in to pay tribute to Dime on guitar, that's who Dime would pick. That's who all the fans would pick. That is a perfect fit. And then you've got fucking, isn't it the drummer from Anthrax?
Yeah,
is in there.
That was great. Did they actually make that call?
They're one of the trash bands. I don't think that's signed, but if it is,
because I did hear Zakk Wylde and actually, I'm trying to think of his name from Anthrax.
I can't remember his name now, but he's back he's an 80s trash guy, and that's what they, Anthrax and Pantera and all those bands party together. But anyway, look. The reason why people are mad is because they're calling it Pantera Reunion. They're going to do Pantera songs and they're going to do a tour. I'm going to tell you the reason why. One, I think it's completely okay. Why I think it's great. and why I don't think there are any arguments at all against it. Why I think it's fine. Again, it's the surviving members. They're playing Pantera songs and they're only doing a tour. Okay? The people that they chose were friends of the band and very close and match them stylistically. So it's great. And they're reputable.
Mm-hmm.
They're worth, from great bands. And here's the fourth, okay? The fourth. If they were making an album and calling it Pantera, lost me. No, can't do that. If they were recording any songs or whatever, and this is a new track, sorry, no. If they weren't paying the families of Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell Abbott, I'm out. If this is without their family's consent, okay. But the fact that all that wraps up and they're not making any new Pantera shit, they're just doing a tour so the fans can come together and they can sing those Pantera songs with friends coming on stage and celebrating Vinnie, Dime and Phil and Selmo and Rex's work, their life's work, that they should be, like every other band does it. I think it should be cool. Now, I know Vinno's got the argument against it, am I right?
I just think in cases like that where you've got two members who have passed, yes, you have two surviving members. I think at that stage, it comes to the point where you've got to let what was be. I understand very much that, there's old fans and they want to have that experience, or even younger fans that never got to experience that. And that does open up that opportunity for them to go and see them. Don't think it'll be the same experience that they would be hoping for, because you just can't match that energy from Pantera in their prime, especially with Vinny and Dimebag there. And I just think that they would be better off, or not better off. They're going to make a lot of money out of it, so they're going to be much better off by doing the tour. I think
you're talking about Vinnie Paul and Dime's family and Phil and Rex.
I think they're all going to be they're all going to be better off, right, for the money. There's no argument there. But I think at some stage, you're raising the dead sort of thing, or you're trying to. There's that argument that it's for a memory and a memoriam and all those sorts of things, and it's a big
they're only doing the songs that they wrote.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? They wrote those songs.
I get that they're doing that. They're doing the songs that they've worked together to do. However, that was done together. Two members are gone. If it was one member gone, you could probably say, okay, you could say
if it was Phil,
it'd be hard to replace.
Would you have a Pantera tour without Phil?
No. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't, because each member of that band is iconic in their own way.
But would you do it with all Phil's favorite singers coming on, like Pantera tour? All Phil's favorite singers are going to come up and pay tribute to Phil and fill in for him. I think Phil would want that, and it'd be all about Phil. Phil would love that.
That
shit.
To me is not necessarily a tour. That's a one-off show type thing. Where you have.
Well, I think it's a one-off thing, right?
Well, look, for the tour, it might be, but
no new music or anything. Like,
my opinion is that if you're going to advertise it and you sell it as a Pantera tour, regardless of who's playing, I just don't think.
What about Megadeth then? Megadeth only have Dave Mustaine really left as the original one. They're Megadeth. And Metallica don't have.
They've replaced members as they've
Dave
gone.
Mustaine anymore, or Jason Newsted. There's only two.
They've replaced members as they've gone, though, in that circumstance. Whereas Pantera was already split up. Right, they were done.
They waited, but they've been gone now nearly 2 decades, bro.
Yeah, but
this is not coming back and writing new. Metallica and Megadeth wrote new music without them.
That's right. So it's not necessarily, to me. That's a reunion tour type thing, right? But how can you have a reunion if you know, 2 of the 4 members are dead. Like,
But I think writing
can
an
fill
album
them in.
without the original members is fucking worse than fucking going on tour and celebrating the people that were died. If they were alive and wouldn't come along, if Vinny and Dime were alive and they just didn't want part of the tour, then I'll be like, fuck, hell no. But they're dead, and they're dead a while.
That's right, they're dead, and that's what I mean. Is it?
Hold up, Tony
I
dropped
think
out.
we've lost Tony. So what we might
Piss
do,
break, everybody.
What we might do, we'll go and have a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get Tony back on board.
I was like, fuck this, I'm going for a smoke.
These guys are talking shit.
Before the piss break.
When we come back, we'll finish the number 3s and then keep moving on. So stay with us. Welcome back, guys, from the quick piss break. We managed to bring Tony back in. Few technical issues. Before we went and had our break, we were having a bit of a chat about Pantera and their return tour, or whatever the tour is that we
It's a reunion, yeah. It's a reunion of all the band.
Yeah.
Every band, every member of the band that could possibly be there showed up. It was just great.
Yeah, so
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah.
probably cool, and we can talk about it as much as we want. It's not going to stop what's going to happen. But
I get what everyone's saying, because I'm a Dime. Look, to me, and that's why Art of Shredding was nearly my song, because what he can make a guitar sound like. Dude, well, I think obviously it's all of the band. The whole band's Pantera. They make the sound what it is. The rhythm section of Pantera actually is what makes it sound so tight. So that is Vinny and Rex. And then you have Dime, is so tight with fucking Vinny because they fucking grew up together, and they're the Abbott brothers. But when they went to Damage Plan is garbage. Damage Plan was garbage. Phil at least had Down and Superjoint Ritual. They're pretty good. Down's good at least, but Damage Plan was garbage. But anyway, I loved Dimebag, and I think him and Phil really represent Pantera, and I don't think you could make a Pantera album without those two people. I think their sound is what makes Pantera. And here's the truth about the reunion. It's just like when Metallica plays Master of Puppets. It's not the same without Cliff Burton there.
And this is what I was saying, like with the if Pantera was still together and hadn't split up when Dimebag passed away. Okay,
but they split up before that, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. If they replaced him and kept moving forward, okay, because the band is still together moving forward as it did, as Metallica did, right? Yeah. And then same with Vinny, if he was to pass away and they replaced him and they were still moving forward, then yeah, okay. And if they split up after that, all right, even without writing new music, playing old songs, doing that. However, I think with the band splitting up and then two of the 4 members passing away, I think it's just to say it's a reunion, a Pantera reunion tour or whatever it is. I mean, Phil in Down plays Metallica, Pantera covers.
And Metallica.
But plays, you know, essentially to me it's just Down doing a Pantera, just a tour, just playing Pantera songs the whole time. So
but the Abbotts, but this time they're paying the Abbotts,
that's a huge thing. They'd still be getting royalties, those families, though.
Well, not for just them playing at a gig.
No, but they would still have
for the
families
tour, because it's Pantera. Yeah. For this one, they are, because they're doing a Pantera tour, and because they're bringing in friends and family. Do you know what I mean?
But
they've made it. Yeah.
Like if people,
everyone still gets Pantera money. The Abbott family, unless they were to sell it.
Yep.
The rights to it to some.
That's what I mean. They're still getting their royalties and stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised if they're not involved somehow, and there's no stage stuff like the the idea of this, I think, is that to also put it to peace. Like when you have a high school reunion, which we might have one day, boys, the people who are died, you know, you can't say, you know what I mean, it's not a high school reunion without them. It's like, we are the surviving members. We're here, and you know what I mean? This is us. The only way there could be a proper reuniting of everyone in Pantera is if they all died, right?
That's, yeah. Well, it depends
well,
on...
however you believe it. Depends what you believe.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Tony, what's this one? I think it's more the label that they've put on the tour is what people are carrying on about. The fact that they've called it a reunion tour instead of a tribute tour. If they'd have said tribute tour,
you can't call it a tribute tour with Phil Anselmo and Rex Brown. They're not a tribute band. That's what I hate as well. It's a tribute band. It's not fucking a tribute band. It's all
Tony's used the magic 100%.
Words. Oh, you said it, Tony.
He's thrown the magic words in there.
How can you do that?
You've just seen Dave implode.
Here's Pantera tribute singer Phil Anselmo and Rex. What? Do you know what I mean?
Just think if they were saying it was a tribute to Dime and Vinnie Paul, the tour was a tribute to them.
Well, it is. It is a tribute to them.
That way, and no one would be having to carry on at all. It'd just be like, sweet, where do we buy tickets?
I think they are, though. I think they've been made it all about the Abbots. I think that they've put in front the fact that they picked Zakk Wylde, who himself has made songs like In This River, isn't that about him and Dime, you know, and about them being kindreds, and even looking at the way they play. Like, you want to talk about pinch harmonic and dive bombs, they're all from that school of Randy Rhoads love. You know, like
oh man, I mean, it's not meant to be done.
Yeah.
They were always gonna do them justice with who they were going to have, you know, fill those places.
But they made it family nearly. You know what I mean? They made it extra justice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just as long as like you know what's gonna happen on the tour. Like, you know, they're gonna open it up and there's gonna be pictures of Dime and Phil. Dime and Vinny.
And that's where, you know, it could be like a remembrance to it.
It's going to be beautiful. People are going to cry and shit. I think that's what it is. Like,
lighters are going to be lit at cemetery gates. Like,
but what if they
be the closing song? Sure.
They kicked Dave Mustaine out of fucking Metallica, and they used all of his songs and recorded albums and called it Metallica. You know what I mean? Cliff Burton died, and they still play a song and call it Metallica and move along. I know, even in the next album,
that's where.
So what if? Would you be okay if Pantera decided, all right, we're gonna get back together and write some new music?
No, that's what I mean.
But that's the same shit.
No, because Metallica was still
Dave out.
Metallica was still a band.
Metallica.
Yeah, but they were still a band and booting, right? When Cliff Burton passed away, they were a band. Still, they hadn't called it quits and moved to, and gone separate ways.
They recorded new music, which is much more serious. If you're going to call a band, if you're going to say, look, it's not a band if the original people aren't there.
When you're looking at the band in that aspect, right, and it is a business to a degree. Yeah, very much so. When you're at that level,
all of it is. When you're making money, you know, it's a business.
Yeah,
it's art.
So
it's
if someone's not pulling their weight, or someone's not fitting in that, you've got to replace them, right? But when that business has ended and finished and called it a day, and everyone's gone their separate ways, and then, you know, 50% of the business dies and passes away, to sell it as a Pantera Reunion tour, my stance is like, it's just, could be done differently. I wouldn't be, if it was me, I sort of wouldn't be saying, and I say this because I'm not earning millions of dollars from going and doing a tour from.
You would be like, welcome to the Pantera tribute show. Hey, everybody. They're like, hey, Vinno, we'd really like you to come play Walk for us to fill in for Vinny. We're doing a whole thing. We're getting people who love Pantera. Would you get up on stage with Phil? Yes, you would, bro. And
I would scrap. I would scrap everything I've just said. Everything I've just said, and every argument that I've just put forward now. like I'd go back on that. Absolutely.
And what if you died, right, Vinny? And they said, okay, 20 years later, a band you are in, want to do a reunion tour. They're just going to tour around all the places they used to go and play the songs they used to play. And they're going to pay your family and they're going to pay tribute to you at the show. It's like, this guy wrote this music and we're keeping it alive. We'd never in our minds, in our dreams, think of writing an album and calling it Pantera without this man. But what we will do is, where all the surviving members are here, we're going to pay tribute to Vinno. And this is the last hurrah now. This is it. We're going to get his friend to fill in. And imagine there's someone who's a drummer.
And that's what I'm saying. They've had the last hurrah. They were split up. They were done and dusted.
That's not a last hurrah. You know, every band split. They split up with Mustaine and they sent him on a bus, and then they used his songs for 2 albums and called it Metallica. And that's only half of Metallica went on to be still there of the original crew, because Ron McGovney was there before Cliff Burton. He was there writing Jump in the Fire and fucking all those songs off Kill 'Em All. So it's like, and then Cliff dies. And Jason's in the band now, and Cliff's a fucking special part of Metallica.
So they're still an active band, and they replace that member, right? But they're still both of them, right? The band there is still together. They are still
to
active.
do that, they're writing music.
I mean, how long did Metallica go without an actual bass player named as a part of the band, though?
I think they were pretty quick. I actually think it was weirdly quick how they replaced.
Always talking conspiracies.
You're talking Metallica?
Metallica, yeah.
I'm talking you, Dave. When you said it was pretty quick, I was waiting for you to go, well, I think.
No, it wasn't, because it was pretty quick. When they replaced the bass. Is that what we're talking about?
They did the Princess Diana on Cliff. That's what he's suggesting.
They did the same thing to Dave Mustaine. Yeah.
Anyway,
if Lars Ulrich died, okay, and they said that's the end of Metallica, we're not writing any more music now because we can't write music, because then it's not Metallica music. But what we will do is keep it alive by getting all his favorite drummers to fill in for him at the live shows. We're going to pay tribute and pay his family, and we're going to just do a tour. Okay, and we're just going to. We haven't done it in 20 years. We waited 20 fucking years, and we didn't do it. We didn't milk it. We're here. We're just going to give people that last. Here it is with all the friends and family, because Phil's dying. Come on, in the next 10 years probably. Like, and it's not going to be Rex by himself. You know, he's one half of the golden duo of really what makes Pantera special. Sorry, Vinny Paul fans. I know he's part of it all, and Rex is part of it all too. But those are the guys. You know what I mean? If you want to talk Metallica, depending on what era, it's Lars and James.
Yep.
Kirk Hammett is great and all, but he doesn't write music. Cliff Burton was different. That's the thing about Cliff Burton. When he was he was part of the music. When he died, the bass died. That whole Injustice for album and all album is famous for not having bass on it. Basically, they edit it in on YouTube and they called it Injustice for Jason, because it was Jason Newsted's first album, and with Metallica, and they turned the bass fucking, because Cliff would be part of the songs, like For Whom the Bell Tolls or Call of Cthulhu. There would be a bass solo in it, or in the fourth, like, you know, he'd have a bass solo on as a whole track in the first album. It was part of the music. And then Dave Mustaine. At the start, they kick him out. They use his music and keep his style, and they keep calling it Metallica. His style was Metallica. When Kerry King saw Metallica,
we're on two different planes there, though, because, you know, like, yes, they kicked Dave out, right? And yes, you could argue.
That's more egregious to me.
And that's
more egregious.
Yeah, well, you could argue that, you know, what they did was wrong with taking the music and continuing on. Essentially theft, right?
Well, no, they pay him for it. They pay him and his family for it. Regardless of what happened to him, they're his songs. They give him the credit. Look, when you look at Kill 'Em All, it says Dave Mustaine on it.
Yeah. But to do a whole... He's one member of the band, and the band is
half of the songwriters.
Yeah, but he's one member of the band, and the band is still together, actively together, still touring, whatever. When they kick him out...
to break the band up. When they said, "Oh no," what if he said, "No more Metallica"? Like, nah, sorry, Dave.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Like
Yeah.
they
okay.
were still together. They
Well,
didn't
the band
split
got
up
back together.
and then
Pantera got back together. Then there you go. And they got back together without their Dave Mustaine, their lead, who's the lead guitarist.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not, yeah. It's not the same.
But
Anyway.
I wouldn't give it Pantera.
As I said, it's no different to Axl Rose continuing on Guns N' Roses without any other member of the band, because, in my opinion, you know,
but they've been through
might.
lots of lineup changes.
Oh,
Guns N' Roses.
they have, and they've continued to.
And if you keep Axl, and
he owns
Slash,
Slash.
they're the two.
Yeah, but
if you keep those
for
two,
a while they had just
people
a
are
fill-in
happy
Slash.
with calling that Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. But
It's to say, and them making music as Guns N' Roses.
They're
When
making-
they make
they're
music
making
without
money.
those two, but if they make albums without those two guys, most people will not consider it a Guns N' Roses album. Yeah, that to me is more like. But I think a band can continue on. Like, I do believe a band can continue on as under the name. I just think when it's writing music, it's rough, because then it's. And then still at the show is playing the old
I agree with
music.
continuing on if a member passes and the band is still together at that time. However, if they have split up, and then 50% of that band passes away, you wouldn't continue. You wouldn't restart the band, right? To start with, but to do
Band's
it
not
as to
start
do
again.
it, no, this is what I'm saying. You wouldn't start the band again, right? And I agree with you in saying, you know, if they were to write music, yes, you'd be going. And I think they just wouldn't. It'd be in poor taste, right? To do
I agree with that. Yeah.
to do a reunion tour, you know, yeah, it's contentious for me, in my opinion. And you know, as I said before, we can talk as much as we want here, and it's not going to change the outcome of whether Pantera do a show. At the end of the day, if they were to come here, I'd still like to see them play, right? It'd be great atmosphere and all that. Whether I would agree with the whole concept of the tour is completely irrelevant. If it was me, and I was in that position, I wouldn't put it for. I mean, if I was when I was in bands and stuff, if we'd split up and then a couple of members passed away, and then the thought was put forward about doing a reunion, my answer to that would flat out be no. Because of no, that's, you know, that's not so much a sacred thing, but that was what it was. We created this. You know, they have passed away. It's just not going to be the same, and it's not going to hold the same meaning as what it was. And the thing with
together.
Yeah, and the thing with music is it lives on regardless, right? So it's once it's recorded, everyone's going to always hear Dimebag and Vinny playing it. You don't need to hear it live for it to be... yeah, the experience is there. Still don't think it would be the same experience without. Anyway.
What if they played their solo tracks to the song of their original records of the album?
Wouldn't be the same. You'd bring
What if-
in all
what
these...
what if you got-
in all these...
What if you got a well, what's that new thing they do? They did it with fucking Tupac and all.
Oh, holograms.
What if they had a hologram of a fucking 10-foot tall dime, and he just walks up into the crowd and he's like, wow.
Just...
Then can they do the reunion?
If he's a hologram
Blink
the
with
whole
Vinnie
time.
Paul.
If he's
Vinnie
hologram
Paul
the whole
is-
time, Zach Wilde can be backstage just goes playing.
What if just Vinnie Paul was dead, and Dimebag was like, okay, let's get back together for a tour?
You've got more than...
What if Vinnie Paul and Rex were dead?
Still agree. 50% of the band's not there. But, you know, you know the story behind...
That's rough.
You know the story behind, you know, Pantera breaking up and all those sorts of things, right? And
I know, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not to say that they weren't friends after Pantera, right? There's no argument there. But if 50% is gone, if there's one member gone and you've got a majority there of surviving members, you look at Led Zeppelin, right?
They've got the
Well,
majority
you
of
look
survivors.
at Led Zeppelin when they did I don't know whether it was a one-off show, but they got
John Bonham's son.
yes, yeah, to play the drums, right? So that's a special occasion because it's his son, right? And it's one member that has passed away. The other surviving members and it's the majority are still surviving members, and
they left it so long as well. Like it was special.
Yeah. So yeah,
Didn't they do an album though?
I don't know.
I think they fucking did. What was that Zeppelin album that came? It wasn't the best of, was it?
It might have been
Came out in like
re-recordings.
2009 or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
Anyway, we do need to move on with the actual topic for tonight.
But anyway, yeah. And that was my album, Cowboys from Hell.
So we're up to.
Have you done your three?
My
Vinno?
number three. All right, I just gotta find it again because. Either way, get in the comments, guys, and let us know what your thoughts on that are. If you don't
let us know why you're wrong. Go down there. Let us know why you're wrong about trying to stop why you're trying to not feed Dimebag's children. There you go.
Oh fuck!
If they had some respect,
This is when you know.
starvation.
Dave's on the back foot and he's learning. He starts to throw in these.
No. I
Tries to pull
I'm
the
a sore
heartstrings.
winner. I'm also a sore winner. Is all. No.
All right.
God bless Pantera.
All
The
right.
new Pantera. The new and improved Pantera. All right. I'm joking. You know what? Come on. Moving on. What's your
Moving on. Number three.
Vinno, what is your third
Number three.
album on the list?
So this is the first album that I'd ever heard of this this band. Band's called Social Distortion. And this is an album from 1996. So I got my favourite song off this album is Don't Drag Me Down. And I got that song on a mixtape from a friend. And it was actually the first song that I'd ever learnt to play on drums. But this whole and like I said, the first time I heard Social Distortion, I thought this is fantastic. They're in the punk category, but they're very bluesy influenced. Been around for a long time. The album's White Light, White Heat, White Trash. And once again, from start to finish, for me, I can listen to that album anytime. And I have given it an absolute hiding. I actually wore out the CD. It was in my old Magna for so long. It got to the point where...
Oh, the Magna.
Yeah, the old Magna. Where just one day the CD... It was in there for weeks on end and the CD just stopped working.
I think he cooked. It was like fucking heat wave or something. He just left it in there.
No, it was middle of winter or something. But it was just... Like at the time I was driving...
There's only so
my
much,
band
right?
practice.
Yeah.
I just loved it, man. It was yeah, and you know they've got a lot of albums. Those guys, as I said, been around for a long time. Been an inspiration for a lot of bands. So, founding members of Offspring. The story behind that is that they weren't able to get into a Social Distortion show, so they ended up going home, or they couldn't get into the show. So that's when Offspring started, because they couldn't play instruments, but they were sitting around at a friend's place drinking beer and decided, right, we want to start a band. So that's what I mean. A lot of the...
Fuck it, we'll start our own show.
Yeah. Next minute, the Offspring...
Year two, eh?
Yeah, November, isn't it? Yeah.
December 9th.
Yep. Yeah, because they've got...
I had the option to go, but...
Sum 41 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Sum 41's so good, man.
Mm.
But,
Last time I saw
I had
them...
the option to go, but I've got a gig back in Rutherford the night after.
Oh...
So
Back it
I
up.
can't go to Wollongong, spend the night, and then back it up with another gig, and it's like 3 a.m. going home. Like,
Yeah.
no, not doing that.
We're too old for that now.
Yeah, wait. Oh, man.
Younger
Carrying shit
days.
in and out of the freaking pub shit.
Yeah. Younger days
roadies.
would have been a no-brainer. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
sweet. I don't know.
That's my number 3. Any album from Social Distortion, I think you're gonna like, but if you haven't heard them before,
Is that a good intro album for them? Like, is that the one you'd say,
absolutely.
listen to this album and this encompasses them?
There is some
It's a
great
good start.
songs. So they had a hit on old Guitar Hero. You remember it? Story of My Life was on there.
No,
Which-
it sounds familiar.
Yeah. So,
That the story of my life.
no,
No, that's One Direction, is it?
it is.
Or whatever they are. The Jonas.
I don't
dudes.
know who it
Yeah.
is. Jonas Brothers. Wow.
So yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard that. That's
Um,
Social Distortion.
yeah, Don't Drag Me Down. And yeah, Story of My Life was Social Distortion. Different album though. Different album. So
Right.
yeah. All right, Tony.
Yeah.
Before we go on to number
Hey,
4,
Pete.
actually. Before we go on to number 4, we were talking about it before we moved into number 3. When you were talking about the songwriting and stuff like that. No, we're not going to. But when you were talking
I
about,
think you've beaten Pantera to death, mate.
it's probably his next album as
That
well.
actually, no,
Yeah.
no. I've brought them back to life. They're back now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't
Stop it,
have
everybody.
segued.
Stop it. Stop
Worst
it, stop
segue ever, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Enabler.
I'm loving the segment.
Yeah, we were talking before we did your number 3 about some of the artists and songwriting and those sorts of things, and new songwriting during COVID and while you were cooking, all those sorts of things. Yeah. What do you generally have a process for your writing? Do you just wait for inspiration, mate? Do you actively sit down, or do you just drink a bottle of whiskey and then hammer in? What's your process when you come to writing songs?
So that last one that I wrote over the weekend, I was like, because I was crook and I couldn't do anything, I couldn't go anywhere. I was like, a bit of fucking sadness kicked in. I went, fuck this, I'm gonna pull my guitar out and just mellow out, because that's how I sort of handle my emotions these days.
Yep.
And yeah, I just sat there just fiddling around, not playing anything in specific. So I thought, I might tune it down to drop D. So I detuned it down to drop D, and I'm like on the acoustic and fucking a little, like a hook, I suppose you call it, little diddle, and I was like, righto, where would that lead to? And I went, righto, we'll go to a different. So then that little diddle become the intro, the verse, and then it led into like a pre-chorus, which I thought, I'll try and make it all fancy. And I went, no, fuck it, I'll just use the same 2 chords like 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, into a chorus, classic 4-chord style, and then somehow that just led straight back into the hook, and it just led straight back into the verse, and I was like, fuck.
Nice.
So I just recorded it, like I had no voice, so I didn't even bother putting words to it because I couldn't sing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you always music first?
Shitty at the moment, but yeah.
Do you
so I
always
just
write
did
the
it,
music first, and then whatever that feels like, do you write lyrics to that, or have you thought of lyrics and put music to that? Because that's everyone's different in that way, aren't they?
Mm.
Yeah, everyone has a different process. So, our lead singer in the band, he'll actually write the whole song, lyrics start to finish, in the format that he wants it, and then he'll sort of throw some chords to it, and then he'll just say to me, "Look, I've got this." That's of. I'll go, right, give me a dry run, so he'll go through it, and I'll go, right, I'm going to completely change it.
Mm.
So I'll take his entire song that he's written in the key of G, and I'll throw it into the key of C or something, raise the pitch, drop the harmonics, and just completely change the tempo of it, and just spin his head around, and he's like, it actually sounds a lot better now. But
would you
takes him a while to sort of
say that you put more like the emotion into the song? So he writes like a thought process or something like that, and then you take that
so
and add emotion.
He's more poetry side of it, yeah. So he's really good with tying in lyrics and finding philosophical ways of explaining things.
Yes.
So whereas me, when I'm writing my own songs, I start with the music. So I'll get the whole thing playing out, and then I'll go, righto, that feels like this. And then that's where I go, righto, what kind of emotion do I have, or what kind of tie do I have to this, that I can look back at it and go, okay, this is my idea, fits that emotional feeling, and I run with that.
Mm.
That's fucking beautiful.
So you sort of,
Yeah.
I suppose that's, it's going to be interesting to hear this album once you guys record it. I'm looking forward to it, because it's going to be good to hear how you and your singer complement each other in that way. You know, being able to, you can read what he's got written for words and then put an emotional connection to that, and him the same way, hearing a song that you've written musically and then putting words to that. That's a pretty special way of being able to do that.
Does he ever come back to you and be like, mate, no,
fuck off? Yeah,
like, this is like a jazz song now.
All the time.
That's all right. That's part of it.
This
right?
sounds so much like Pantera, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't. I
That's
limit
part of
myself.
it, though,
I don't
right?
throw metal in his face anymore. Like, we've got one song for the album. He's like, this one's like cranky, full distorted, and he gave me the words, and I'm like, yeah, it's cranky and distorted, but it's very gappy. Like, it's just in your face, just stock chords, boom,
It's
and then
breakdowns
you'll
the
sing
whole
a bit, and then
time.
it's boom. Yeah,
I'm always
it's really
interested.
punchy. Like,
Yeah. I'm always interested when you get two songwriters coming together for a band like that, like, because you know, for instance, Elton John he doesn't write any lyrics. So Elton John only writes the piano, and then some dude gives him, like, his writing partner gives him lyrics. So isn't that incredible? Like, and he'll get on, my tea's gone cold, I wondering why. You know, but that's not it. Like, he writes
in there. You know,
yeah. Oh, well, he did stand live. Do you remember that? Elton John did the Dido part.
Ah, right.
Get out the video. So funny.
with Elton John songs too, they don't technically. Not every single one of them rhymes. Like, they don't. Every sort of thing. It's a very Crowded House kind of. I think that's where Crowded House got it, because like a lot of their songs rhyme, but then if you look at their like lesser known backyard sort of style stuff that they've produced themselves and sort of got out. Like, I had one of their albums. It was released. It was just before they went into the Hall of Fame, and like nothing rhymed. All their lyrics, just nothing rhymed, but it just told a story.
Yeah.
So like, some people can get away. Like, if I'm doing music, it has to rhyme or I lose my rhythm.
Yeah.
And then I can't play and sing it at the same time. You
But
know what I mean?
It is funny, right?
It's a different art form to get that melody to separate.
Syncopation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. To just separate it and then bring it back together. Like, it's it's the difference between those bands that are in the Hall of Fame and you know, bands that like the Jonas Brothers that
they'll be in the Hall of Fame.
No, they won't.
Pantera in the Hall of Fame.
We don't know.
They will be now with this new lineup.
Anyway, moving forward.
Is
Let's
it
go
Tony
to
number 4 now?
Yeah, so we're going to start with Tony, number 4.
Second last, lads.
We are, yeah.
Creeping up 2 hours now.
That's a go, but I'm having a good time. This is great.
Me too, man. Me too, mate.
Once again, thanks for coming on. Like, it's... Yeah. And you were nervous, but man, you've done well. You've done really well.
Yeah,
He's natural. Don't be... No, mate. I've been fucking mad surprised. I'm a gasp. Tony B. But anyway, sorry.
Like,
Number 4.
Number 4. I'm going to take this opportunity. It wasn't in my top 5. I had it in a couple of extras. But I'm going to throw this one in there because it's a recent find. And it just... I love the shit. Like... So, I'm a big kid. Like, I got 3 boys, and we just... Every time they come around, we're just watching Disney movies and all sorts of shit. So, this one is... Punk Rock Factory is the name of the band. A Whole New Worst. A Whole New Worst is the name of the album. They're a punk rock band.
Yeah.
And they do punk rock covers of Disney tunes.
Oh, I do. Vinno's crazy about them. Vinno's crazy.
We've spoken about these guys before.
They're kind of like a Me First and the Gimme Gimmes of Disney.
Very similar.
And they do all different types of shit too, don't they?
Yeah, well, that album's that album's all Disney songs.
Oh, that's good to have with your
not
kids, because you can kind of get your kids to listen to your music. I do that. There's certain songs I know Maisie likes. But yeah, what songs are on the album? What Disney songs do they cover?
They got A Whole New World. There's
I'm
pulling it up
Simba,
because I got
gonna be a mighty king.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
What's that
one.
called? I just can't wait to be
My
king. Yeah.
That's a one. So, like, they got
Yeah.
heaps of other ones. Like, they got a few other albums. Like, you got the new Encanto song, which was already pretty choice.
I just
But
realised
they
that they've
did
got
pretty
Maisie's
sick cover of it.
bashed
They
into
got,
Encanto right now. Mirabelle. Yeah.
whole new worst too. So they've brought,
Yeah, it came out
yeah.
3 weeks ago.
because the
Fuck yeah.
the one prior to that was Masters of the Universe. Oh, Universe.
The universe.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was a
Everything's worst. Like,
Sausage.
WURST sausage.
yeah. So they've got
So
They
what's-
find a way to
what's
put
your-
the worst sausage in every one of their covers.
so that
What's your
album's got Let It
favorite
Go,
track, though?
How
Yeah.
Far I'll Go, A Whole
Oh,
New
man.
World, Beauty and the Beast, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, Do You Want to
Elton
Build a
John.
Snowman, You're Welcome, I
That's
Just
my
Can't Wait to
favourite,
Be
man.
King. Yeah, You're welcome.
You're welcome, Moana. Digging the Rocco.
They do have some.
Listened to that album 3 times, and I went, "That's it. Can't do it anymore." I set all guitar gear up out in the back room, like every inch of it, and I cranked it through the PA system on the MP3,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
and I just chugging away at it, and I'm trying to scream over the top of it. I couldn't hear myself just because everything was so loud. Like, it's like, this is the best, and it's so easy to play, but they do it so
Kids
well.
dig it.
Oh man,
Good way to
my
get the kids
used
into
to be
punk,
inside
eh?
watching TV. They're inside watching TV, and I'm making noise out the back room. But
because they
So
get
what's your
some.
track off that then? Because they got the album.
The
Did
what?
you get your favorite song from the album?
yeah, it's You're Welcome, the Moana.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Like,
I
"You're
haven't
welcome."
seen Moana. Do you know that?
It's it.
Well, look, I
You're
don't
not doing
know.
yourself
I've kind of.
any-
I know. It's up. Maisie watches all of her stuff, and I just kind of phase out now. I don't get into it anymore. Unless she's watching one from my childhood, then I'll get real into it and I'll watch how she reacts to things. But I can't watch the new stuff. I know she likes Encanto and Moana and all that shit. Like, I just can't get into new fucking kids shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like
But the
it was
music
much
coming
better
out
when we
of it
were
is so
kids.
cool.
Oh man, I'll give you that. Like, what's that one? Fucking with the little dance to the beat of my own drum kid. God,
Probably not even a cartoon.
and it's a little monkey.
but-
There's a little monkey in it. Never mind.
Not
It'll come to me
Dora
later.
Explorer.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer.
No.
No.
That's one. No. I'll find it.
Mm.
You'll search it up.
But before you do, Dave.
Hey Jamie, bring that up
Hey, Jamie.
from the Joe Rogan Experience.
Ah,
Oh, it's from what's Vivo. You ever watch Vivo?
Oh, the-
no.
It's a little monkey kid and a girl, and they're like, yeah, never mind.
We might have to.
So now you guys don't watch the kids show.
It's gonna take the high horse now. All
the
right.
music. Well, look at Frozen 2, Brendan Urie, Into the Unknown. Check it out. It'll change your life.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
what was the band again? You guys love? What's it called?
Punk Rock Factory.
Factory.
Punk Rock Factory. I want to check that out.
Dude, get on. If you follow them on Instagram as well, because they're throwing videos up all the
Giveaways.
time.
Well, I love punk covers. I think punk covers are the best type of covers. Like I love Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Yeah.
I think they're the best. I loved when fucking was it Goldfinger did 99 Red Balloons.
Yeah.
I love that was fantastic.
Did you ever
cover.
listen to the albums that came out? They were the Punk Goes Pop. So they were
Yeah.
a series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
They're
good.
good. They're awesome. All right, Davey. Number 4. Album number 4. What do you got for us?
Got to throw Black Sabbath in there. So I was like,
Oh,
should I
yeah.
put Black Sabbath self-titled their first album? Because that got some mad shit. Should I put Master of Reality? Because that's probably got some of my favorite Sabbath songs in it. But I was like, what's the first album that I heard? And then I'll just go, and it's got bangers. But it was it's so special to me because it was the first album I heard. It's the first song I heard by them. And the album is Paranoid by Black Sabbath. 1970. It's their second studio album, but it's the first one that was given to me. And when they handed it to me, I pressed it was a CD, and I pressed the first track, and it was War Pigs. It was, and that just changed my life when I got through that intro, and it
hiding in their masses.
just like witches at black masses. Oh man, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. It was jazz, blues, metal. It was beautiful. It was anti-war. It was so powerful because again, I was listening to Metallica. I was on me Metallica buzz and Megadeth and getting into 80s thrash, and then me mum who'd loved all the old stuff. So like, listen to this.
Also, an absolute banger to bust out after a few beers on Guitar Hero. Just gonna say.
War Pigs?
Yep.
Fuck yeah, man. But here, listen to this track for these are just some other great songs on it. Paranoid, which obviously was their big single that was huge. They wrote that as a filler song. They said we need 3 minutes. Can you fill the album?
To me,
they said
the moment people say Sabbath, instantly I feel that everyone thinks of Paranoid. It's like that first guitar
because it was their single.
Yeah. That's their.
But it was their nothing song. It's not even about anything. Even Geezer Butler wrote the lyrics. And Tony Iommi, it was like, we need a 3-minute song. So we're like, we don't make 3-minute songs. And they're like, fill it in. They're like, okay. And he just was simple, like power chord, muted. Like, it was so simple. And all the lyrics are just like, Ozzy was like, and then Geezer Butler would write the lyrics for Ozzy, and they didn't make sense, and they wrote it in like a day, and it became their biggest song. They had to name the album about the record company that this is a hit, because back then you released singles before the album came out, and they're like, we're gonna call the album it. This is brilliant. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But you think of the other, War Pigs was on that album, Planet Caravan was on that album, Iron Man was on the album, Electric Funeral, and Hand of fucking Doom. Like, this album is vintage, beautiful Sabbath. It's just, people will hear, oh, your favorite album from Black Sabbath's Paranoid, and they'll hear Paranoid. But you hear the fact that there's War Pigs, Electric Funeral, and Planet Caravan,
and that's what I was.
Iron Man. Like,
that's what I was alluding to. So with the name and Paranoid being the song that it is, do you feel that it overshadows, or that it did at the time maybe overshadow all those other great songs that are on there, or is it just a more of an acquired taste and people enjoyed the single, and then, you know, the people that really did enjoy Sabbath, you know, then heard the others? Because I mean, everyone knows Iron Man now too, since the Marvel movies, right?
They're catchy metal songs. That's Robin. There's so many different aspects of Iron Man. Like, people have, not just with the movies and stuff, but like so many bands have covered it. Busta Rhymes has a good song called "This Means War," and it's Iron Man in the background. It's so good. Like, that's Tony Iommi's fucking thimble fingers. He lost his fingers in a sheet metal accident right before they were recording Sabbath Volume 1, and he fashioned sewn thimbles on his finger, and plastic bottles melted over them so he could fucking play when it's fucking unbelievable. And that's why and again, that palm muty chuggy sound that they kind of started that shit, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, they were really good at it. But I think we think of Paranoid very differently than what people thought back then. Sabbath fans loved Paranoid back then because it was a bit of a fun thing. It was a bit of an anthem. It was punky. You know, it was a bit different. It was a bit quicker and jollier and all. It was a bit of fun because Sabbath was like their first song on their first album, and the first track is called Black Sabbath, and it's 3 chords of the Devil's chord. It's the fucking down, down, da, you know what I mean? Like, they were doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sabbath. So they come out with that and have Iron Man and all. It was very different, but also have some deep fucking tracks there. What an album! I think we look at Paranoid weird now because it stands out, and because it stands out, people like that, and then they're not happy with the rest of Sabbath when they try and listen to it. So we kind of see it as, oh yeah, you like Paranoid the song, but when you say you like Paranoid the album, very different. That's their second album. Master Reality was after that, and Technical Ecstasy and Volume. Oh man, Black Sabbath.
Fantastic.
Not
Great
Black
band.
Sabbath, the album, but Paranoid. Fantastic. And people need to listen to that
Underrated.
shit.
Underrated.
Dude, it needs to be. I still think it's like got to be the first album or Black Sabbath self-titled. I don't know. Next week I'll change my mind. But
your number 4 for tonight is Paranoid, the album.
Paranoid. Yeah, 1970. What's yours, Vinno? Number 4.
What was your favourite song off that album?
War Pigs. First track.
It was, right. Okay.
It's the first song I heard of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Was War Pigs. Yeah. And the first track of Paranoid.
Mm.
But forget that. Vinno, what is your number 4? Brother?
All right. So this one's got a bit of a story with it. While I pour myself another scotch. So, my old man's got an amazing vinyl record collection. And I heard this album. I'd heard a couple of songs off this album around the same time that they had a big old stereo and the tape deck busted. This is tape deck, so this isn't. I did have a CD player. I had a 3-stacker CD player, but it was a tape deck that buggered out. So they went and bought a new stereo system. It had a record player on top, so a vinyl record player on top, and the CDs still worked. So I got that old stereo system when they bought the new one. So I went out and asked Dad for one of his records to put on this stereo system one night. I was just chilling out in my room, and this was the album that he gave me, and I didn't realise some of the songs that were on this album were on this record that Dad gave me, and I got to listen through it. So same era as what we were just talking about. 1970 this album came out. This is an album from Yusuf, or as he was known back then, Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens.
Yeah.
Yusuf Islam. Yeah.
Yeah, so Teaser and the Firecat is this album. It's the first album that I'd heard all the way through of Cat Stevens, and I kept that record in my room for the next 2 weeks or so, and just constantly played it, man. Loved it. Yeah. Some of his most iconic songs on that album, in my opinion. My pick, though, isn't some of the big ones, but it's If I Laugh. No, so Father and Son was on the album. Father and Son was on T for the Tillerman. So Teaser and the Firecat had songs like Peace Train.
Everyone jump on the Peace Train.
Yeah, that was the song that I heard of his, and didn't realise that it was on, or that it was Cat Stevens for one, or that it was on this album. But Morning Is Broken was on there as well, on Teaser and the Firecat. But If I Laugh is the my pick from that album. I remember sitting on my bed and that song coming on, just chilling out, going, yeah, this is unreal. And you get the crackling of the record player and stuff as well while it's going through. So brings back a lot of memories for me. And yeah, being that was the first record, and after that, you know, I would get a record nearly every night to whack on there, and that was sort of my introduction to music from an early age, and it was a lot of Dad's old music. And
that's the best way. Like, I think we underestimate from taking from our parents. I've got all our old rock and roll, and then I guess Sabbath as well from my mom. But Tony, did you take a lot from your parents, your music?
Yeah, definitely, man. I brought a lot of covers into the band just from shit that I grew up with, like Billy Rebel, Matchbox, and like just old school cool.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I loved it. So Cat Stevens too, like he was epic in a way. He was the first real big fuck you to the corporate side of music, because he got a record label and they recorded it and he played it back and he's like, I can make the things in my garage better than this. So he just basically told him to Shed recorded his own shit and produced it himself. So
fuck yeah.
Yeah, he He was the first real jammy corporate shit. I don't need it, and did
You
it
can-
all on his own.
You can hear a lot of that rawness on those albums too. I mean, if you listen
There's
to
no one over his shoulder saying, "No, you need to do it like this." He's like, "No, this is my music. This is how I'm gonna do it."
yeah,
They
you listen to a lot
sometimes
of albums.
overproduction. Sorry, mate. Sorry, go on.
yeah. Well, that's probably in line nearly with what you were going to say there. You listen to a lot of those albums from that era and that time, and his stands out for that sound as well. It's almost a very unique sound, and it was probably because a lot of the other albums were overproduced and to the point where it wasn't. It probably comes across now as well, the fact that when you go and watch a band live, you might go, "Oh, that didn't sound anywhere near as what it did on the album," or you might say it sounds better, but it's actually taking that overproduction away from the product, and you're left with the raw sound. And
That's Cat though, right? Cat's a raw sound dude. Like, I can't remember who said it, but I always remember it kind of stuck with me. It's like you can tell when music's overproduced. It's like because it loses its glow.
right.
He says it's like music has a glow when you're playing it, and it's and there's something in the air, and then some producer comes along and he deletes all that air. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, and he makes it just so too crisp.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no hum, there's no glow. I can't remember who said that, because it's kind of like I'd heard bands with their EPs versus their LPs, and I preferred some of their EPs because I had that glow.
Yeah.
You know,
It had that human element to it.
yeah,
And
it's
that's
kind of live-ish.
Yeah, and that's what you lose in the sense with that overproduction. And even as something as simple as, with an acoustic set, hearing the fingers slide up and down the strings.
Yeah,
something as
that's right.
subtle as that gives life
That's
to
it.
a recording. Yeah,
The
it's
feel of it. Yeah.
it's something extra to it, and it's just it's an ambience or an element to that piece or that music and that recording that's very real. And you take that away from it with everything that you do with the overproduction. It ruins it.
Also, the reverb, like the room you record in as well. Like,
Yeah,
we've done our own little like demo recordings through our PA system, and when you're in a tin shed, everything echoes.
fucking oath it does.
You don't need to put chorus and any kind of effects in there because it's already behind you.
Mm.
The ambient sound is coming through every microphone. It's surprising you don't get feedback loops, but
Depends how small
where
that shed
you
is.
record makes a big difference in the finished project as well. So
Well, it's like they say, you can have a studio that's too dead with the sound, and that's you don't want it too dead. One, you'll go mad in there, but two, it takes away that extra element, that live, that glow, like Dave was just saying to it. So yeah.
Do you guys think?
like our sound guy,
yeah.
his shed is completely timber.
Yep.
Like the whole thing, he's just completely wrapped the inside of it in timber, and he's got like strips on one wall of like foam and stuff, and that just breaks it from looping.
Yeah,
Best
So it won't feed
studio,
off each other and just keep looping.
I'm gonna
and
get some
bigger and bigger.
foam up here.
best studio I ever recorded in was the guy had curtains up along the walls, so you do
Acoustic
a
chords.
sound check.
Yeah.
Yeah, and move those around to get the best sound that you want, and and filling the
Flat
room.
record and everything else.
Yeah, filling the room was a big thing as well. Not filling it to the point where you couldn't move, but breaking up that sound.
Taking out
and-
the empty space. Yeah.
yeah, yep,
But you use them at work as well. Like a lot of people use curtains exact to deaden noise and for noise attenuation.
yeah.
But
Even
you know,
hang
but,
carpet on rope does the same thing.
it does the same because you're just stopping the bouncing
That's
bouncing
right.
off
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
But
Vibration.
do you guys think like those albums that have that glow? An album has a glow sometimes. Like, and I think all those Metallica albums have a different hue to them, and all that. Do you think it's because back in those days, and maybe it's looking at our list, those albums where usually people had to go and they recorded an album in a place, And because of that, the album sounds different. Whereas now an album can be made over a couple of years in many different places. You can record on Pro Tools on your computer, send it. So it kind of everything sounds.
Well, the other
Do you
thing with
reckon
that, if you have a
that's
look
part
at,
of losing the glow?
you have a look at
As
those
opposed to recording?
old studios and old recording methods as well. If you were a band recording, you would record all together, right? Whereas now, you have the ability to go in and record individual tracks and those sorts of things. So you would have automatically that raw sound to a degree because, you know, the fucking drummer was next to you. It was almost as if you were recording it live on stage, so to speak, without the background sound from a crowd.
The fun is there, right?
And that's, so it's, you know, I imagine it would be more strain, a bit more pressure in the sense that you didn't want to be that dude that made the mistake and made everybody have to play it again rather than just yourself.
You're not keeping up. You're not.
Yeah. So otherwise, I would have been fucking shot back then. I think I would have had a million takes. But it's interesting to listen to those older recordings and now, and you know, the sound quality has gotten a lot better nowadays. However, you know, it's like anything. Do you get too much? Is it too good to the point where you lose the feeling of it? Yeah, the music's still there, but is the feeling behind it there?
Do you think we play with it too much? But because back in the day, it's kind of like you didn't have so much options of how you could alter the sound and play with it, and you know what I mean. You just right now, you can fucking do whatever you want to the individual. You know what I mean? Do you think now it's like, because you can get bored of the way you play something, right? It's only when you record it and it's on an album, then that's the way you kind of play it. Unless live, I've seen a lot of bands change the way they play it live. But in someone's mind, it's always that, right? But do you think now people like Dre talks about this big problem about releasing detoxes? He can't finish songs anymore because every week he'll look at it and he'll think, oh no, I can improve it and I can improve it and I can improve it. Whereas back in the day, he would release a track because that's all I can do with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's only so much I can play with this thing with the equipment I have. And now it's like he can do whatever the fuck he wants to it. You know? Mental.
It is.
But where are we?
Well, I think we're up to number 5s.
Oi.
Oh.
Can you hear Tony? Talk, Tony?
Is he talking?
His mic's off for me.
More technical.
We'll be right back.
It was extremely quiet. He's probably been trying to interject this whole time.
We can't hear you. His green
you.
light's not popping up either on Discord. In and out. What do we reckon?
Yeah. Look, we'll have another quick break, and when we come back, when we come back, we'll have Tony working again, and we'll go through our number 5s and finish it all up. Anyway, see you after the break. Welcome back from the second P break, guys. We've got Tony back up and running. We're all good to go. Last albums, we're going to try and punch it out, get it done. Been a good night. Thanks again, Tony, for coming on too, mate. It's
fuck yeah.
It's glad, it's good to have you on. We've
Man, I've
been trying to get you on for a while.
The last 2 years.
Yeah, we've contacted you a couple of times, I think. Said, hey mate, you interested? And you've said yes. And then things just haven't worked out. So it's good to finally get you on here and have a chat, mate. And as nervous as you were at the start before we hit record, mate, you've been doing a really good job. Been smashing it. So all right, we're gonna finish off with you though, mate. Number 5.
Number 5.
Album number 5. Who have you got?
Album number 5. Pretty simple one. 3 Doors Down, 17 Days.
Hey.
Yeah, wicked album.
That got Superman on it? That Superman sort of kryptonite or something?
Kryptonite. Yeah, it's got kryptonite on it.
Yeah. That
Pretty
was
sure it's Kryptonite.
That was fucking
was
huge.
that 2000.
Here Without You.
If I go crazy.
Yeah. Here without you,
Yeah,
baby.
2005.
Only missed
So-
you in your dreams.
Will you still call me Superman?
You still call me a Superman. Yeah.
If I'm alive and well. Hey, that's
You'll
that
be there
Hetfield style.
holding my hand.
That's that James Hetfield Metallica style. Three
It is
Doors
so
Down.
easy
I
to
haven't
do
heard them
that.
in a long time.
Yeah,
I haven't,
Yeah.
I haven't heard.
Yeah,
So,
so-
what's the album? Sorry.
17 Days was 2005. Had 14
Yeah.
songs on it.
2000. So
My
that was
favorite off the album was My World.
2005. Did you say? So that wasn't the Superman album, was it?
No,
No,
I
it
don't
would have
think
been. It would have
Kryptonite,
been.
It was Here Without You, I think.
Yeah, because no, Superman came out in like 2000.
Later. No,
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
further.
Nah, we were in year 7, mate.
So it was
when-
earlier.
Yeah, Here Without You would have been.
2004 we finished high school, so
You guys did.
Geez, showing me
I
age
hung around
now.
for another 2 years.
No, we didn't. Did we? No, we
Yeah,
didn't.
At year 10, 2004, mate.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
finished
yeah.
Yeah.
I left in year 11. I left year 11.
Yeah, so you were 2005. Yeah.
To the fire.
Yeah, there you go.
What a
Yeah,
rapid
so-
spray. But fuck it. So
My
what's the
World.
song?
My
My
World
World.
was my favorite because I can actually, like, I sit around and I just play that here at home.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
You can play it on the acoustic and I can sing it, and it's great. But then when I get out on the electric and I've got the pedal board and everything, you just nice, clean, mellow tones. Then
Oh,
all of a sudden you just stomp the distortion and it's just fucking into it,
Yeah, mate.
and you just
Nice.
scream and like it's great. I love it. I love doing it. So
Fuck yeah.
and father's son on that album that hit me different too. That was there's just some lyrics
love
in
it.
there that just sort of hit me in pretty personally. So I was like, fuck yeah, love
Makes
it.
Isn't that beautiful?
Sentimental, yeah. Music's got a
Yeah, I was
music's got an
not a
amazing
great
way of
light,
doing that.
but it wasn't in a great light, the emotional connection to it, but like I did have an emotional connection to it. That was the point of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's if a song reminds you of something bad that happened or something sad in your life, it's still helping. It's kind of a therapy, because in therapy you basically talk about those hard times and you talk them through. But in music, sometimes can help you live through it. You know, some
Yeah.
people say like there's hallucinogenic drugs you can take to get to those type of levels where you can relive something for real. But music can make you can hear a song and smell then. You can hear a song and it make you feel like you're sitting around your fucking friends when you were kids. Like, or like you said, it can bring up something fucking very hurtful. And it can because maybe you listen to that type of music or the lyrics hit you in a certain way that bring you that way. And again, a band will write a song for one reason, but you might not know that reason. You might just listen to the song and it's you're interpreting their lyrics in a completely different way. You're interpreting their tone in a way, because everybody's different. We all hear shit in a different kind of sonic level, right? So that's beautiful that you can appreciate the song for kind of making you go through a little something a bit hard deep down, you know? Well, music's not only about having fun and jumping around, right? Yeah.
No, it's a way of
True, that's
expressing
true.
yourself, even if you're not playing it. If you're listening to it, and you've got that connection to it. It's very personal in the sense that no one else needs to understand maybe that song or those lyrics or that moment or whatever you're feeling at that time of listening to that music. That's for you, and that's your connection and way of expressing maybe thoughts or feelings that you normally might not be able to put into words or any other way. But for that moment, it can be very healing, or it can, be that one thing that you listen to that lifts a weight off your chest for only a few moments, if it needs to, when things get a little bit tough. So, I'm still very much of the belief that music is the best drug for human beings, because without it, we've lost such a big part of ourselves, and culturally, for many cultures, every culture around the world, and then us in the modern times as well, music has just been such a pivotal role in.
Vital.
It is. It's we need it. It has to be there. We need music. So yeah,
I completely agree. For a lot of cultures, it was how you learned your history.
Yeah.
It was how you sing songs about the heroes of the past. You know what I mean? About times that were hard and times of glory.
Mm.
But it tells the stories of your ancestors through most, and I think that's, again, maybe music's lost it a bit, but the idea of the ballad, you know, the songs that are stories, God, they connect you, right?
Absolutely.
They connect you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I managed to like, speaking about cultures and music being a part of everybody's culture, I actually managed to get a day off for NAIDOC week, because I got my kids at the primary school, and I got the Monday off, and I went in there and I thought they were doing this big, you know, hoo-ha thing, and my oldest boy was going to do a didgeridoo performance and stuff. So
Fuck yeah.
I thought, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go and check this out. So when I got there, and they changed the days around, so it was the Friday that he was meant to be doing the performance and not the Monday. So I got there and I showed up. I was there a bit early. So, but they did like the smoke cleansing for the start of NAIDOC, and then they had all the dances and the songs. Because I never got the opportunity to learn anything about that side of my heritage. So
music,
I thought, this is cool. Like,
music there, man. It's storytelling through dance. And that, you know, very much one of the cultures, you know, that has music as a pivotal point through teachings and passing down stories. You look at American, like Indigenous Americans as well, same thing. You know, that music is a pivotal role in their ceremonies, and you know, it's just throughout the history, the one thing that has withstood the test of time is music. It's always there,
definitely,
and always will be there.
Nexus. Even in even in Western culture, like obviously there's Irish music and all, and obviously it's very deep about our history and it's rebellious music in Ireland became that way because of colonialism. But even in the world powers, like even in the Catholic Church, if you go to church, you're singing. If you go to any church, you're singing. For Muslims, very important, very important. So isn't it crazy as well that music is like, even though there is lyrics and language in music, in most music, I should say, popular music, it breaks through. Like La Bamba, fucking Rammstein, you just keep going over it. 99 Love Balloon, like keep going and going and going, and people appreciate music for how it makes you feel, and you don't know what it's about. Like, I listened to a god awful amount of Rammstein and had zero clue, and I was like, and you figure out what it's about, and you're like, oh, I thought it was about this, but whatever, you know what I mean? It touches you. It doesn't matter where the people are from. You know what I mean? It's that one thing where we can all come together and be like, fucking right. Isn't it mad? Every culture had a beat. Isn't that crazy?
Make music, not
they
war.
all got it. Oh, dude. That's the life. Battle of the bands.
Well, you think they call it a heartbeats?
Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
Davey, number 5. Who have you got?
Number 5. Shit. All right. So I want another hip hop album on there, and I want to think. I had like so many hip hop albums that are like, I listened to this the whole way through. They've all got that glow. There's so many of them, but I want it because I feel it's unsung. I feel like this artist, because he's been dead a long time, it's unsung because he doesn't get put up there enough with the likes of Tupac and Biggie and all those guys. And the artist is Big Pun. But his album is really his only good album, because he wasn't around long enough, is Capital Punishment. And I love Capital Punishment. That whole album you can listen to.
You like Capital Punishment as an album, not the idea
I'm against
of Capital
Punishment. I'm against Capital Punishment. But in terms of what you're going to put on, if someone was like, are you in favor of Capital Punishment? I would ask them, I would say, look, do you mean...
That's why I wanted to clarify, because you went, I love Capital Punishment. I was like,
and I'm sure that'll be in the trailer for this episode.
It has to be now.
Dave would be
Fucking
like,
damn right it will,
yeah,
mate.
Dave would be like, Pantera is better now. I love Capital Punishment. That's all it's going to be. But no, Big Pun,
Wow.
the album's Capital Punishment. If you haven't heard it, and again, there's a lot of different styles in it, but if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. I guarantee, like, Twins Deep cover from it is it, that's the whole dead in the middle of little did we know that we riddled some man who didn't do diddly.
Man,
I love that.
just
That is one
flow
of
in
the best.
itself.
Oh man, he eats up it. He's one of the best rappers ever. But on that album, you've got Twin Steve cover, you got Beware, you've got Super Lyrical, which has Black Tar from Roots in it, the Roots, and you've got Caribbean Connection, you got Punish Me with the girl on the hook, you got You Ain't a Killer, Glamour Life, Parental Discretion Advised with Busta Rhymes, Boomerang. It's a great album, but the song I like is the title track of the album, Capital Punishment. It's so 90s hip hop.
Yep.
It showcases his flow. And if you listen carefully in Big Pun, you can hear him, because he's a big man. You can hear him breathe through every verse. He goes, baby Jesus be feeling me. And like he'll snort. It's so funny. And now I might have ruined the album for you, because that's all you'll hear.
Yeah.
But Capital Punishment by Big Pun. Again, I said it at the start, 1998. What a year for music.
Man.
And Big Pun released Capital Punishment. It was the end of the great 90s reign of hip hop. God bless fucking the life of Big Pun. Too big for he had an appetite too big for the world, and he died with like KFC in front of him, poor bastard. Big man, great rapper, one of the best to ever do it. Capital Punishment.
Great
Listen
era.
to that track. Oh,
Great
man.
era too for hip hop, man.
90s
Some of
for
the,
hip hop.
just a massive decade there for music in general, and black culture in America as well, with coming out with hip hop. You had NWA
Great.
throwing
They
down.
were
and
a bit
causing,
80s to 90s.
yeah, but
But you had Ice Cube, man.
it was the
Right,
turning point there where it was starting to really highlight, and they were coming onto the scene as this superpower sort of thing with hip hop as a scene in a whole. And you had Tupac, Biggie, Big Pun. You had Snoop Dogg coming through. Just a massive
pushed
era.
it mainstream.
That's right. And that's what I mean.
It became the main. Yeah, you're right. It became the main part of music.
Yeah, it
Pop
brought it
music
into the.
died in the 90s.
Yep.
Because hip hop
yeah,
came along and R&B.
And then boy bands came along.
Oh, they were 90s too, but they battled. But like,
Yes.
man, I just love
Back
it so
up,
much.
boys.
What's that? Sorry, mate.
Backstreet Boys. Disgraceful, Tony B. Disgraceful. We're an equal opportunity Fireside over here. But
Hey, man,
yeah, man, incredible.
Sometimes I do take that song, so I like my popular music,
I like
just
pop music.
not in public.
It's
In
what
closed
Vinny
doors.
Paz calls Windows Up music.
Yeah.
It's like if you're at
No,
if you have to stop at a light and you have to roll your window up because of the song you listen to,
You're
That's
embarrassed by
Windows.
that music. Yeah.
but you still love it. You still love it. I've got a heap of Windows
And you're
Up
allowed to.
music.
You're allowed
Yeah,
to.
fuck it, but only Windows Up. But if you're a real motherfucker and you're happy to have Heaven Is a Place on Earth blaring while you're looking straight over that motherfucker, you got Total Eclipse of the Heart playing, fucking Bonnie Tyler. But anyway, that's my number 5. That's my number 5. Vinno. 55.
All right. I'm going to keep it hip hop, but I'm going to bring it back to Australia. So this is from an Australian hip hop artist. This album came out in 2007. Artist is Earth Boy. And it is. I was while I was cooking dinner tonight, I was playing this album, and I'd forgotten about it almost. When I say that, I mean I forgot how good it was, and some of the songs on there had just completely slipped my memory. But the moment the start of the song and the beat came on, it just took me back straight away, and remembered and could sing nearly every song word for word. the album is called The Signal from Earthboy, released 2007. And for me, it's just a very chilled album. There's a couple of songs on there that are very powerful. If you remember the David Hicks saga for the Australians watching, he's got a song on there that's a pretty powerful message about how that ordeal went down and the injustice committed with, you know, being convicted of a crime without having his day in court.
Interment,
yeah. So, you know, there's some pretty serious topics in there, but then there's some pretty fun songs as well. But my pick, I've got two picks off this album because they're neck and neck. So for the song, The Signal would be one of them, which is the title song for the album as well, and We Get Around, which is just another fun, upbeat song and gets you moving, man. And then the good thing I think about this album is you'll have a song that's quite upbeat and lighthearted and fun, and then just drops you into it like a serious topic sort of thing if you listen hard enough. And it's fucking good album in my opinion, and a good I suppose anyone that's not listened to Australian hip hop or has only heard like the generic type stuff, Hilltop Hoods and Bliss and Esso and that sort of stuff, you know, it's getting into the new artists. And if you didn't watch our episode with Steve, where he mentioned plenty of Australian artists and him himself, but I'd definitely recommend Earthboy. Give him a listen, and my pick would be definitely The Signal. That was my first album that I got introduced to him. But anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of the episode. Said it a few times already, but Tony, thanks very much, mate, for coming on board. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on here and have a chat to you. And good luck.
Crowd goes wild.
Good luck, man, with your shows coming up, especially now with the end of COVID and all those sorts of things. Hopefully, you guys can get in and finish your album, and be really looking forward to hearing that. Make sure you get that to us, or let us know when that's coming out.
As soon as that's available, we'll pump that shit.
Absolutely. So,
awesome.
Where can people find your shit? And
thanks.
Like plug it all.
Yeah. I'm not one to toot me own horn, mate. But no, I do really can't say anything else about it. Just put my earphones in, put the show on, I'll go mow the lawn, or I'll just sit out the back, have a beer, and I just love it. Sometimes I've done this a few times, and I run you through the Bluetooth system through the PR. So I've got you blaring in the back room. We usually when the missus is at work. And
nice.
You guys are
fucking right.
loud as buggery, and I'm just usually pissing, laughing. So, but I love it.
That is amazing, mate. You know, that is honestly the best fucking thing. Yeah.
How far we've all come from is the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, a
lot of you guys are seen once at the MP Dave, and been probably the last time I saw you, Dave, and then Vinno. I think last memory I got of you is I got DNA's parents' place, and you were having a jam in the shed when you lived over there. I think it serves.
Might have been. Yeah, I came over and had a beer with you that night where Dave was talking about the start. It was only quick because he had to take off back to the band, but yeah, it's been a while in between drinks and catching up, and man, it's good to the best thing for me,
in real life one time.
Yeah,
gotta get together for a beer. Yeah.
But even that support that you show us each week means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, just even the occasional comment and message and those sorts of things. We love it, man. Like, it's really makes it worthwhile as well when we get to hear from somebody that we've known for so long, and enjoys the show so much. So, but anyway, until next week, guys. Thank you again for watching the episode. Been a couple of weeks in between. Life is busy, especially at the moment, but we're back at it again. So, cheers.